go live. Here we go.
Yeah, gang, yeah, my bitch bag, yeah. Rose gold got my bands up, yes. White sand in my sandals, yeah. Ball hard, I got handles. Gang, no bandanas. My bitch bag and no manners. Whoa.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to NYY News Roundtable. It feels like it's been a while. I don't think it's actually been that long. Actually, no, it has been that long. The last one we did was the trade deadline.
The trade deadline, yep.
And we are here. We got a new face in the room. Caesar, say what's good to everybody, fam.
What is up, everyone? Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. You guys already know the one, the only Francis Lee. And you know Killer Joe. Killer Joe's in the house. Killer Joe, are you still having some mic problems?
How does it sound?
Sounds all right. I mean, that's probably good for you, though, man, because you're so dangerous, fam. It's like, it's like very muffled. It's like you got a pillow over somebody's head right now.
he got a silencer on the mic.
Facts. My goodness. So, guys, before we get started, I always ask you guys so nicely. I have to ask you guys this. Please share. Please follow. Please like or follow, subscribe, whatever it is. Get the likes up so all other Yankee fans out there can come and join the roundtable. But please share this. We would greatly appreciate it. Before we jump into it, guys, I am also going to share it real quickly. I recommend all of you do the same thing. The link is right there. Get it to your friends, and let's get going. So, guys, give us one more minute. We'll wait for people to join, and then we'll jump into it. We are going to start with tonight's game. So, you guys know how we probably all feel about that one. So, once we get started, we'll start talking about the Orioles breaking all of our little Yankee hearts tonight. All right, let's get this shared
all season
out.
Long.
It's all season long. You got that right. All right. So, guys, in the comment section there, if you guys are in the live chat, like I said, please go ahead and share. We are live now. I'm gonna go ahead and post this on Twitter. I'm gonna go over to our Facebook page and do the same thing. Joe is going to send it over to many killers out there to let them know that he is live.
Yeah, the killers got to know we out here.
Yeah, the killers got to know. I mean, we might have to send some of them towards the Yankees, but, we'll leave that alone for now.
Yeah, I got a couple names on the list. We'll get to those. A couple names on the grocery list.
On the grocery list. That's it. That is it right there. Let me say hi to everybody real quick. Let's get that. That's posting on Facebook. That is done. So all my posting is done. Let me go ahead and welcome everybody in. The likes are going up. Everybody is getting in the room. We are just about ready to go. Let's see. All right. Perfect. Ruben, what is going on? Tyler, what is going on? Dale, my friend, thank you for joining. Anthony, you are always here. Thank you so much. Jared, thank you for being here. Ruben, you're always here. Michael, thank you. Ramon, my friend, thank you so much for being here. Let me flip this around real quick, guys. And then, let's jump into it. Guys, there was a ball game today. Did anybody notice?
Was there?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe we had a ball game today.
Did it show up?
I didn't see a ball team play. I mean, I saw the first two innings when the Yankees scored 2 runs, and then they went 8 shutout after that against the Baltimore Orioles.
I saw a picture.
Anemic offense.
So, Caesar, man, kick us off. Let us hear your thoughts. You're the guest on the show today. Let us hear your thoughts about today's game.
Well, start off, heartbreaking loss. But again, who is it? The Baltimore Orioles. What else is new? Of course, the Orioles, you know, I'm sure they're motivated to want to take the Yankees off playoff contention and all. But, you know, this team, the Toronto Blue Jays, man, they demolished the Baltimore Orioles, something the Yankees should be doing.
How many runs did they score against them again?
47. No, I'm serious.
No, I know they did. I know they did.
Yeah. 47 runs in 4 games.
Facts. I'm just laughing about it because I'm laughing at the Yankees, not at anything else.
Yeah, of course. They're a laughing stock right now.
It's
just,
unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I have no words for how this team plays against Baltimore and overall lately how they've been playing.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah,
You waste a wonderful start from Jordan Montgomery, who was terrific
all season. He gets no run support.
Yeah, and I mean he was absolutely terrific today. He's been really good all year long, and the Yankees throw it away again. So Francis, I throw it over to you, man. Give us your thoughts on today's game.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, what else is there really to say? We've been saying it all year. The Yankees just haven't shown up to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. You showed up. Tonight's game was pretty much the same story as the rest of the season. If you want to know what the 2021 New York Yankees season was like, look at tonight's game. I think it's a microcosm of the entire season, right?
Yeah.
You had a good pitching performance where our starting pitching has actually not been the problem most of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You had a home run, which the games where the guys are hitting home runs are the games we normally win, right?
Yep.
You had only one manufactured run, which is an area of struggle for the team. And then the offense disappeared for the rest of the game, right? No tack on runs, no nothing.
Nope.
We wasted a gem spun by one of our starters who's freaking grinding all year, trying to get wins, and just wasted. And then in the end, we lost in heartbreaking fashion. The third game of a 3-game series that we won the first 2. It's the same story with the Yankees all year. We can't end series. We don't know how to close series. We don't know how to sweep. We don't know how to put teams away. We don't know how to tack on runs. We don't know how to hit bullshit pitching. We don't know how to there's too many things that the Yankees don't know how to do, and they always seem to this always seems to manifest itself at the end of a series, which is why we have the record that we do in games where we're going for a sweep.
Nope.
Facts. Joe, let us know what you think.
Yeah, same thing Francis basically said. It's basically the epitome of what the Yankees been all year, and to top it off with Monty on the mound. And, when Monty's on the mound, his team can't score. So, I mean, they scored 2 runs in the second, and they're shut out for 8 innings after against the Orioles, it's pathetic.
Yeah, it's the same old song. I feel like it's crazy too, because if you obviously watch these games and you look at the schedule coming up, the first thing we all said was when the Yankees played the Orioles, all right, you got to sweep this team. You can't sit back and like we all said, 2 out of 3 most of the time we're excited about. We're happy about winning 2 out of 3 because you win the series. But when it comes to a club like this, you got to be able to sweep them. And the Yankees just cannot do it. They have lost 8 games to the Baltimore Orioles this year. Think about that. 8 games. How many wins did the Orioles got? 40, 46? 47? It's not a lot. Whatever the hell it is, it's not a lot. I mean, we all know that. We all know where they are. But, I mean, it's frustrating.
Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead. No, you're good. Go.
But now imagine if the Yankees would have won half of the games they lost against the Orioles. That's 4 more wins. That's it's a big difference.
They're ahead in the wild card. Then we know that.
Yeah, exactly. It's teams like this is where you're supposed to get fat. It's just step on their throat, and they have not been able to do that all year.
No, not at all. And it's
we're like 20% of their wins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be
20% of their wins. Sad. Are against the Yankees.
Think about that. Every other team sees this club and all right, cool. Time to load up the stats, right? Time to play MLB The Show a little bit on easy, on rookie mode, and that's what the Blue Jays did. I was talking to I had an interview yesterday with Bad Dog Sports, who that'll be coming up on Sunday. But we've been talking a little bit about the Blue Jays lineup. They're even the Rays. The Rays strike out a lot, but they're such timely hitters. They get the big hits. They know how to do that. They know how to move guys over. The Yankees, on the other hand, I mean, you score 2 runs in the second inning. The whole game, I'm saying, all right, score, guys. Score, please. Score some runs. And the team just can't do it. They just cannot add on runs. It just doesn't happen. I mean, and it's the most frustrating thing in the world to see them do this against a club this damn bad.
Yeah.
No, and then you have to listen to Ken Singleton saying that the Orioles bullpen has done a great job with the Yankees lineup in this series, and
come on,
it's
man.
Bullshit.
It
like
is, 100%.
It's all respect to Ken Singleton, but it's complete bullshit. Like you literally just came off saying how they were ransacked by the Blue Jays lineup for 4 games. And then the next 3 games, all of a sudden they're lights out against the Yankees. No, that's not the Baltimore bullpen. That's the Yankees.
Right.
That's right.
Like, we're the ones. It's not that they've been good. No, we've just been bad is what it is. Like,
and like I said,
they weren't doing anything different.
Like I said, the Yankees' biggest and toughest opponents has been themselves all year.
I think it's been like for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been beating ourselves.
Yeah, definitely beating ourselves. Yep. Shoot yourself in the foot. That's what you get.
Yeah, it's you know, you look at the game, and I'll be honest with you guys, I was working on everything for the show, so I missed the Gary Sanchez play. Was this a ball that should have been blocked?
Which one?
I believe it was.
There was 2.
I feel like it was
in the
one
same inning.
But was it one towards the end of the game that cost them?
There was 2 in that same inning.
Wow.
There were 2. I know.
So the fastball up was in his glove, and it popped out. But he thought it was still in his glove, so he just stood there like a statue and did like this.
That is the most Gary Sanchez shit ever.
Right? While he's doing this, the runner is strolling to second base.
Oh my God.
And the second one was the one that was outside that ended up tying the game, which, you know, people are saying, oh, you know, that's on Holmes, that's on Holmes, that's on Holmes. I'm sorry. I don't think that's on Holmes. Like,
Joe's shaking his head down there. I see it. Joe's shaking his head.
Yeah. I don't think that's on Holmes. I feel like you're a major league pitcher. You throw 100-mile-an-hour sinkers. You throw everything you throw freaking moves, and it's hard. Major league catcher who knows you got a runner on third has to catch that ball. It wasn't even in the dirt. It wasn't even like it was off the plate. It was far off the plate, but it was in the air. All he had to do was pick up his knee and stretch a little, and he would have got it. But because he refuses to pick that knee up out of the ground, he let the ball go all the way to the backstop, and the runner easily scores from third base. And yeah, you got Twitter warriors out there saying, no, oh, that's not on Sanchez, or you people don't know what you're talking about. That's not on Sanchez. That's not on Sanchez. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, is the whole game on Sanchez? No, I'm not saying the whole game is on Sanchez, but them tying the game, that's on him.
So
Yeah, no, Gary.
Oh, you can go.
Go. You're good.
So my response to the people that say that's on Holmes and not Sanchez is Higgy catch that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't see it.
Okay,
so I'm honestly
my-
going based off of you guys. I don't know if Higgy would have caught the ball or
In
not.
my opinion,
Higgy catches that.
Yeah, he catches it.
Wow. Caesar, what were you
Yeah.
going to say? Go ahead.
No, I was saying, Gary's had a very rough week here going back to the Mets series. And even yesterday, I don't know, I believe it was in the ninth. I don't know when it was a while, but I even tweeted about this. The ball got by him. And I just tweeted, I'm like, Gary, you're just, taking a nap right there, because the way he got up was like just so like lazy, like you got to put more of an effort there.
And I'm actually seeing it right now. Yeah, that one. Yeah, he got to catch that ball. I mean, anybody and basically it looked like it was like a fastball outside, and then it bounced to the back to the wall, right? Bounced right out of his glove and to the back.
Mhm.
That's the one that we're talking about. Oh yeah, that scored the run. Okay, yeah. I mean, you got to catch that ball. And Francis, you put it in a really you framed it very well for anybody who has a problem with, oh, it was Gary, it wasn't Gary, it was this, it was that. That's a big damn game, guys. That's a big moment in the ball game. This is nobody on base. This isn't a man on first base. This isn't a man on second base. As a catcher, it's not a
5-run lead.
That's right. And I was listening to Derek Jeter the other day, right? Because my son made the football team. So my son made the football team. So we're sitting down, we're talking, we're having a conversation. He's going to be a defensive back. And we're talking about like safeties, what they got to do, whatever. And I made him listen to Jeter when Jeter said he would put in his mind every play before it happens. So he knew what to do. He was always ready to go do that play. Gary Sanchez in that situation, Francis is spot on, so you can't even argue this. This is a stupid-ass argument. Matter of fact, if you're trying to argue this, you're just a Gary Sanchez apologist at this point. That's all you are. You're trying to stick up for the player, not the team. If Gary Sanchez knows that the game is on the line right there, you have to come up with that ball. Whether you smack the damn thing down or you do enough to get off your ass and go get that ball. There's no excuse for that play. I'm watching it right now in front of me. It's the first time I saw it, so this is my live reaction to it. There's no excuse for a play like that.
And I'm not trying to, what's it called? Like, I don't want to be like, because I know I said, he should have caught it, or like Higgy probably catches it, whatever. I will stick to my point there. Like, I definitely think Higgy catches the ball. Just based off what I've seen this year, like Higgy, he's more mobile back there. I definitely think Higgy catches the ball. But I'm not asking Gary Sanchez to catch that ball. All I wanted was for him to keep that in front of him. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. He could have smacked it down at least.
Pick your knee up out of the ground and keep the ball in front of you, right? Where you, like, I'm not asking him to catch it. Just get around the ball. He could have just put himself behind the ball into an angle where he's staring up the third base line and the ball is in front of him. So the runner knows, like, I'm right here, you can't come. It's a simple, let me not say simple, because then people say, oh, you don't know. Maybe not the simplest move, but it's a move that a major league catcher should be able to make. That's my point.
Yeah, absolutely. We all agree.
Yeah. I mean, everybody agrees on that. And then just going ahead and looking at the box score, the Yankees with 7 hits in the game. Stanton 2 for 5. Just looking at the big ones, Gallo, of course, with the homer. We're going to talk about Gallo a little bit here soon. Gleyber Torres with a caught stealing. No errors today for the New York Yankees. That's nice. We're going to talk a lot more about that. But Jordan Montgomery, 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 12 strikeouts, a new career high, 1 walk. Albert Abreu comes in and does his thing. Joely Rodriguez comes in and does his thing. Holmes, the 2 innings. You can see that how you want. I see some people in the comments saying Holmes blew it. One person said Holmes blew it. All right. And then Wandy Peralta, that inning was a damn joke. I saw some of that last inning, and you get a guy 3-1, bases loaded. Come on, man. I mean, you likely know what's going to happen in that moment. And once I saw that, I was like, all right, this game's over. They're going to lose again to the Baltimore Orioles. And not much else you could say. It's funny because you want to be mad and you want to be angry. But, fam, I tell you what, like, I wouldn't be able to rant on this tonight even if I wanted to, because it's almost expected. It was literally almost expected. Oh. And I think I texted you guys in our chat we'd need more runs. I was like, we need more runs. I'm looking at this the whole game, and I say, man, this team hasn't scored since the second damn inning. They go 8 shutout-ins against the Baltimore. That might be a record for this team. I feel like it's a damn record for them.
No, that was recipe for disaster right there.
I put out a tweet halfway through the game, and I was like, you got to love these playoff games versus the Orioles. You just have to.
I've been saying that for a minute. It's true.
You gotta love it.
They're the only club.
Every time we play them, and we want to play. It's like we're like a Big Brother program. We're like the little brother, Big Brother program, and we stroll into Baltimore, and we're like, look, we're gonna make a wish. We're the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The Orioles never get to play in the playoffs, right? They never make it. So when we play them, we're gonna make it into playoff games, since they never get to go there, for real,
right.
And we're just we're gonna show their fans what it's like to play 1-run games and actually be in games to the end and actually win some games in the end. We're gonna give them that experience, since they'll never get it in any other facet of this game, playing any team other than the Yankees. We've become the Make-A-Wish Foundation for Baltimore. And it's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
Yeah, for the Orioles and their 500 fans in the seats.
It's a joke. The stadium today was so quiet. I think I heard a guy ordering a hot dog. Like what? Like, bro, and we are losing to that team.
Yeah, constantly too. It feels like it's all the time. Every time we play them.
If there's one thing that's gonna spark Hal, this has to be one of them. That is just like,
I don't know if anything could do it.
Look at who you're losing to. Like, look at who you're losing. It's not even like, okay, the losing to the Red Sox clearly doesn't do it. Losing to the Tampa Bay Rays clearly doesn't do it. Losing to the Houston Astros clearly doesn't do it. But you're going to accept losing to the Baltimore fucking Orioles 8 times in a season?
11-8 this year versus the Orioles.
11-8, yeah.
Come on.
11-8 this year versus the Baltimore. I mean, honestly, like, you see that, that's enough reason to make change. I mean, you don't even need much more than that. Yeah, that's enough reason to make change right there.
It's gonna be a very interesting offseason. See what Hal does.
Oh yes, it is. I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about this. Sorry, Joe, go ahead.
No, we're only 17-2 against them in 19.
Back in we beat the shit out of them that one year. Yeah, we destroyed them.
So you're supposed to, but not this year.
No, you're right. That's exactly what we're supposed to do against the Baltimore Orioles. So, anyway, let's go ahead and jump into our first topic. Our good friend, Nasty Nestor Cortez. My goodness. Nestor Cortez. Guys, I tell you what, man. This guy right here is one of the... I don't know how to explain it because it's funny. I was talking about this, I think, on a live yesterday maybe, where a lot of people make projected rosters and talk about going forward or even a postseason and all that. And for some reason, you don't hear a lot about Nestor Cortez. He's very under the radar. But Nestor Cortez has been one of our best pitchers this year. Francis, talk a little about the mustache.
What else can I say about Nestor Cortez? We've been speaking about it a lot on the podcast. We've been saying it all year. Nestor Cortez was not supposed to have anywhere even remotely close to the year that he's having for the New York Yankees right now. And that's, like, I think putting it plainly and an understatement. There's been times this year where we like joked around. I know Peter said it, like, he's like, yo, this is the true ace of New York. Like, this guy's going out there, winning games, dominating lineups, and he does it in a very entertaining way. The different arm slides, the different pit, like all this stuff is like, I mean, even when he's not like dominating guys in terms of like strikeout numbers, like he's getting guys out, using the different arm slides, like dropping low, doing all this weird stuff that it's like you kind of can't take your eyes off him when he's pitching because it's just like it's so freaking entertaining. And it's like, honestly, this is a guy that we let go, that we've let go, and like he went out and whatever, and now he's come back to us. Or like, there's no way that a talent like this, like you're supposed to be able to just like let him walk, play for another team, and then you get him back and you sign him, invite him to spring training, but like on some, like we'll see, like maybe he'll have a role with us out of the pen, who knows? And then he becomes like one of your 3 best pitchers. Like there's no way that that's supposed to happen. And I think, Nestor Cortez deserves a lot of credit. And he's one of the reasons why I've been saying that, this year is not like all the other years where we constantly say the Yankees, our lineup is decent enough. And the bullpens, they're good enough, but it's always the starting pitching. We never have the starting pitching to really do something in the playoffs. And that's the problem with the team or whatever. It's like, that's not necessarily the case with this team. Right. And Nestor Cortez is one of the biggest highlights of a rotation that has really overachieved if you look at it, because Severino never showed up. Kluber got injured and missed the long part of the year. Taillon was supposed to be average, if not well below, just because he's coming off an injury. You didn't know what you were going to get, right? Monty to me has done, like, we'll get to him, but even he's done like a little bit more than he's was expected to do, right? When you look at the way, the shape that our rotation has been for most of the year, there's no way that they should have the numbers that they have. Like everybody's ERAs under 4 and things like that, like high strikeout numbers, lower walk rates. Like I know some people are going to combat this and say, well, there's a dead ball season, so a lot of pitchers are having, renaissance years and things like that or whatever. Okay. But if that's the case, how do you explain Andrew Heaney?
Oh, God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if that's what we're going with, then Heaney should be lights out too. So I think let's give Nestor Cortez his credit, because the dude's been really, really, really fucking good. Like dominant even. Like he was dominant yesterday.
Facts. And Caesar, before you go, I just want to go ahead and throw his numbers out there. Nestor Cortez on the year is a 2.5 WAR also, but 2-2 on the year, 2.60 ERA. 19 games, 11 games started, 79 2/3 innings, 87 strikeouts. Fielding independent pitching is a little up at 3.72. But there's nothing that you look at here that shocks you. I mean, 79 innings, 61 hits. Batters are hitting what I think I saw the other day, 218 off him. Something like that all year. So he's doing a tremendous job. 11 homers given up in 80 innings. I mean, those numbers aren't terrible. Just doing a tremendous, tremendous job for this club. And I mentioned it before. If Cole wins a game 1, Caesar, I throw it to you. Is Nestor your game 1 start in the ALDS? If the Yankees get there, that big if right now, but if they do get there.
I think I would consider Nestor Cortez, but I think in that case, I'd probably lean more towards Jordan Montgomery.
Okay.
In my opinion. And but listen, if it came down to that, I have no problem. I mean, he shocked me what he's done this year. I know if you would tell me before the season started that Nestor Cortez was going to be a big part of the rotation here in the middle of a playoff race, I'd tell you you're crazy.
Right.
But no, listen, you ride with him. You know, he's done a tremendous job. You know, I used to see Nestor Cortez as I don't know if you guys remember this, like a Sterling Hitchcock.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Reliever, you know, long relief, you know, but Hitchcock was used differently. He was like, you know, when the Yankees were getting blown out, they'll just put him in, you know, to save the arms in the bullpen.
Yeah, the Yankees didn't get San Diego Sterling Hitchcock. They got a little different version.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But yeah, no,
the
definitely.
mop-up guy.
Yeah. But you know, all the points Francis hit on, you know, definitely you know, he's been tremendous, you know.
He's been absolutely great.
He's you know, played a big role here for this
Joe,
team.
what do you got on nasty Nestor? I always double up on the nasties with him because he's been very nasty.
I think I'm going with Nasty for Game 1 ALDS.
You would?
It's not just because of, I mean, he's been great, but I love his demeanor when he goes out there. He knows if he has to get something done, I feel like he would go out there and get it done.
Right.
And I think that's the only guy you go with if you can't go cold.
Yeah, the other thing about Nestor that I really love is his demeanor is just exceptional. I mean, if you got a scale of like if you look at every pitcher on the team, right, you go from 1 to 10, where do you see their comfort on the mound? He's like a 12.
Oh, Nestor for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
sure.
what the situation is for Nestor.
Yeah.
My man's on Broadway. My man's on Broadway when he's on the mound. He's like, all right, I'm going to do what I do.
He's one confident dude on that mound.
Oh,
right now.
100%. I mean, his confidence is through the roof right now, and that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
That's what you need to be in New York.
Exactly.
I think a lot of that has to do with the humility.
Yeah.
Nestor Cortez is a super, super, super humble dude. And like when you come from like, you know, regular, you know, upbringing, like not having a lot, and you come up humble and things like that, like you get to a place where it's just like everything is bonus. And it's like you're on the mound and it's just like, look, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to give it my best. But like if I get rocked, I know what that feels like. I know what that is. It's not the end of the world, and I know I can come back from that. And so he's not pitching with that in the back of his mind constantly, like, damn, man, like this could be it. Like I could get rocked and get sent down, and then all of this is over. I don't think Nestor Cortez is thinking about that when he's on the mound. And I think that's why he's been so effective, because you can literally see this is a guy who's pitching with no weight on his shoulders. Yeah. You can tell when a guy's pitching and everything, like he's thinking. Like I was saying at the beginning of the year with Tyone, not that Tyone was afraid that he was going to lose his role with the Yankees, because he's here for a couple of years. But Tyone was definitely pitching with a weight at the beginning of the year. Like there was things that he wanted to do. There was marks that he wanted to hit, numbers that he wanted to, like things that he expected to have in those first couple of starts. And when he started to see them slip away, you could see he would chase after it with a bad fastball or a bad breaking or something, because he was pitching with weight on his shoulders. But Nestor has pitched like pretty much all year with nothing on his shoulders, because he knows, like, I came here, these guys don't even expect much from me. So everything I'm giving them technically is cream. Yeah. And look at this point of the year. We're in September, right? His last 3 starts, total of 18 innings and only 4 runs given up. That's elite shit. Like if the name attached to that was Scherzer or whatever, like you expect it, you know what I mean? And so that's why it's going to be talked about on MLB Network and all this thing, because the name that's doing it is a name that you expect to be doing it at this time of year. You're used to hearing it. The reason that you're not going to hear about Nestor Cortez outside of Yes Network and us is because the rest of the league is not even on notice for him. Yep. They're not even on notice for him. Like you remember that game against the White Sox? To me, that was very telling. To me, that was very telling. I don't think the White Sox lineup was prepared for Nestor Cortez that day. And you could tell it. You could tell by just by looking at some of the swings that they weren't prepared for him. They weren't like, they probably watched a little bit of tape or whatever, but they weren't preparing for him the way they were preparing for like a Garrett Cole or guys like that. There's no way. And it's because that's the way most of the league is looking at Nestor. So he's actually a nice secret weapon that we have. Much. The problem is we have to get to the point where you can even use a secret weapon. Yeah.
And he's a name we're going to come back to because, every time we do this show, we have topics that we want to talk about, but there's always the unknown topics that probably come in just through conversation. And I know we got to talk about the offseason. We're going to have to. Because a lot of we're going to get to also the Cy Young race that I can't wait to talk about. I can't wait to talk about this. And we'll get there shortly, but the next thing on our list, Joe, you had anything else to add?
Oh, Francis.
I want to keep my kneecaps, fam. I don't want to skip you. I want to keep my kneecaps.
No, Francis basically hit it. He hit everything.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we have the next man on the list is the guy we just talked about who started today, Jordan Montgomery, Mr. Gumby himself. Let's go ahead and let me run down what he has done for the New York Yankees this year. 144 innings. He is about to surpass his 2017 rookie year when he threw 155. Hasn't had a lot for, 3 years since then. 2018, 2019, 2020. All up and downs, obviously due to injuries. 2021, he is 5-6. Forget the win-loss record, 3.63 ERA. 27 games started, 144 innings pitched. 133 hits only surrendered. And then the strikeout numbers, 149 for Jordan Montgomery. He's striking out more than a batter an inning. That is absolutely terrific. Francis, take us away on Big Gumby.
Like I said, I think Montgomery is definitely overachieving this year. No, overachieving is not the word I want to use, but I definitely think he's outdoing himself this year. I don't think the Yankees were expecting him to be this guy at this stage in the season, right? If you look at the win-loss, it's going to skew everything because the win-loss is how the Yankees expected him to look this year. Like, basically like a guy who maybe wins you 6 or 7 and loses like 5 or 6, whatever, something like that. But those numbers aren't indicative of the year that he's had. I think when you go into the ERA being a 3.63, where, it's not the elite ERA under 2 or whatever, but think about it. 3.63 playing in the American League in the AL East, it's pretty freaking good. Like we're moving to the place in baseball where 3 is not going to be the number anymore. It's going to be 4. 4 is going to be the number. If you have a pitcher who can pitch you, give you 200 innings and pitch to an ERA under 4, you're going to sign that guy and he's going to eat innings for you. That's going to be the number. And Montgomery is like a typical quintessential candidate for that. Like he's 3.63 right now after pitching 144 innings. He has almost 150 strikeouts. He's going to finish the year with something around 160, maybe 165 strikeouts and around the same amount of innings, which is pretty good. I can't say enough about him the same way I said with Nestor. Like these aren't guys who we thought were going to carry the rotation this year. We thought that it was going to be Cole, Kluber, Sevy. Like we thought that was going to be the trident at the top of the rotation, and it hasn't been. Cole has missed time. Sevy's never pitched yet. Kluber's missed time. You know what I'm saying? The guys who really stepped up, was Tyone when he went on that crazy stretch until he fell off, which just happened recently, right?
Yep.
But he went on a stretch of games where he was one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah, he was. Right? He was.
Jordan Montgomery and Nestor Cortez, those 3 were carrying this rotation for a very long time. So absolutely. I can't say enough about Monty. I'm really happy with the year he's turned in, and if I had a choice, the only reason that I would go Monty for game 2 instead of game 1 is because if you lose game 1, I like having Monty there for game 2. Whereas I don't like Nestor as much as I'd like Monty in game 2. That's why I put Nestor in game 1 and Monty in game 2.
Hey, Booney, that's called feel of the game, baby.
Yeah.
That's called having feel of the game, not just listen to the nerds. But Francis, continue, fam.
They won't. You know that's probably not going to happen. They'll probably have Monty start game 1, and then game 2 they'll call up I don't know, Michael King to pitch an inning, and then Heen Dog will take us the rest of the way.
Yeah, just piggyback, haven't finished it off the game.
Facts. Caesar, go ahead, take it away, man.
Man, listen, I've been amazed at how Jordan Montgomery has pitched. Just how he's matured as a pitcher. Not afraid to challenge hitters, and it all goes back to when he pitched in that elimination game against the Rays, and I believe it was game 4.
Yeah,
he came a big time there. That was very telling for me. And yeah, listen, if he keeps up, you could even see like a little bit of Andy Pettitte in him at times.
You're right.
So yeah, definitely happy for what he's done. Definitely making a case to keep him around.
Yeah, he's been absolutely awesome. I mean, you look at his numbers, and I understand what Francis is saying. He hasn't overperformed in the sense we don't necessarily want to say that, but you got to remember he was also coming back from injuries too.
Yeah.
So he's another guy who was also coming back from injuries, and his confidence is also up there. You can tell he's pitching right now with a lot of confidence, and he's a guy that this team is going to continue to rely on. No doubt about it. They got to continue to rely on him. I mean, they don't have much other choice, but he also sets them up very nicely. Just moving along with this team going forward. I know we're also we're Yankee fans, right? We're looking at this season, and just the projections of next year, what could be. But we obviously want to focus on right now, and I think Monty has a very good shot, like Caesar said, to potentially do a game one. Hopefully, the good thing is, wild card comes, we know we got Cole, right? We know we got G. Cole, so he has to also do his thing. And then after that, I'm not too uncomfortable with either one of those guys starting game one of an ALDS. I'm not too uncomfortable at all, even if it's a game 1 and 2. I mean, look at the way they pitch. Now, look, I know what people think, and I understand it. It's not a sexy name, right? You don't got the big sexy name out there that people go, oh, well, look who they got started. People will kind of see Nestor, oh my God, can you believe the Yankees are starting Nestor Cortez? Well, yeah, we believe it because we watched them all year dominate everybody. So yeah, we believe it, obviously. So,
and I got news for you. If it's against Tampa, he probably dominates the lineup.
I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it one bit. I wouldn't doubt it. And the good thing is too, knowing Nestor all year, that game's not going to intimidate him.
No,
not at all.
No.
Just because, oh look, we're in a playoff spot. Nestor's gonna be more Nestor. He'll be even more Nestor. You know what I mean? So, Joe, what do you think about Monty this year? Has he been big surprise to you or no?
Nah, I don't. Do you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great. Actually, you sound good.
Perfect. All right, for Monty, nah, I'm not surprised. This is what I expected from him. Caesar basically took my 2 big points away. He to me, he reminds me at least of what I saw Andy Pettitte. I didn't really get to see Andy Pettitte's whole career as a Yankee. That's who he reminisces to me, and that kicked in from that start in the elimination game 4 with Tampa. So I mean, and then Francis's point with why he would go game 2 with Nestor, and then game 1 with Nestor, and then game 2 with Monty is because if you lose that game 1, no doubt we're winning game 2 with Monty on the mound.
Yeah, and if you win it,
then you got Cole game 3.
Then you got think about it. Like say you win, say you find a way to win game 1, right, with Nestor on the mound, right, and you're following that up with Monty, right. That means you beat their ace in game 1. Now you got their second guy against Monty, and Cole is on deck for game 3. Like low key, I like the way that lines up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't disagree at all.
You definitely set yourself in good position to win the series.
Because the earlier you win it, the earlier you win a series like that, the less of a chance you give for our bullpen to really make things interesting.
Yep, that's right.
Hey, but just ask Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman. You win game 1 to lose game 2.
That's what they like to do. I mean,
exactly.
Right. Right.
Just ask.
Here's the one thing I actually picked up on. What was it? I think it was game 1 against the Orioles. King won game 1. Yeah, 3 innings. He pitched good game 1. That's one of the things I picked up on actually a little bit. That as a Yankee fan, you do gotta be a little optimistic about. Right? Is Michael King as a relief pitcher has been one of their best relief pitchers this year when he's been a relief pitcher.
Yeah.
Well under a 3-year ERA as a relief pitcher, very good. And then you also have Domingo Herman, who's going to come back. So Herman's going to get one more go. I don't think he pitched today. I'm not certain. I haven't checked that out.
He pitches Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Domingo Herman's going to be back too, and I'm assuming he's going right to the pen. I don't think he's going back to the rotation.
He should go straight to the pen at this
point.
I mean, for me too. Yeah.
Sense. We need arms in that pen.
Right. Yeah. That's my assumption.
This bullpen is shot.
And I'll tell you what.
I don't know how guys like Ridings and them aren't back up here yet with the way the bullpen has been 20 games in 20 days, and you just keep running out Chad Green. Like
Andrew Heaney,
what the?
That's why.
What are we doing?
Yeah, Andrew Heaney, Heen Dog.
God.
The Heen Dog.
That name.
The name. My God.
Every time I hear it, just by hearing that name, man.
You get aggravated, right?
Yeah.
No, we get agita. You get a little agita every time you hear that name, but. Booney, Booney got a thing for Heen Dog. He keeps going to him. But our next guy that we're going to discuss today is the one, the only Italian stallion himself, Joey Gallo. Gallo is on what Joey Gallo does, right? Somebody was arguing with me the other day when Boone had him out of the lineup. And they go, "Oh, Pete, what does it matter? The guy's only a career 205 hitter." And I said, wait. That's not the point, though. The point with Joey Gallo is when Joey Gallo goes on a homer streak, it's stupid. It is stupid. The hell with the singles. I'm not saying he's hot, so he's going to start hitting singles. Joey Gallo goes on home run stretches that are known throughout baseball that are just stupid good. And what does he do today? He homers. And Booney tried to do the regular old Booney, let me fuck up the Yankees here and take him out of a game and not play him after he hit a homer again. Thankfully, I don't know if it's worked so far because he went deep again today, and Joey Gallo's got to do that the rest of the way because let's be real, he hasn't been great. We all know that. Nobody's sticking up for him. But the Yankees need that lefty bat to break up the righties, and they need his power. They need the pop from Joey Gallo. They need a nice home run stretch here.
The people who are saying like, oh, like it doesn't make a big deal, like it's not a big deal, he's a career 205 hitter. It's like these are the people who believe that analytics bullshit that we shouldn't believe in hot players or cold players or whatever. Those are the ones who like fall for that shit. Because anybody who like is like us and you're more of a traditionalist and you're looking at the game and you believe in the eye test and what you're seeing and what's actually happening on the field, when they took Joey Gallo out of the lineup, he wasn't a 205 hitter. You were actually taking a guy who was hitting well over 270 and sitting him.
Yep. Like
well over 270 with a bunch of home runs in his recent games, and you were sitting him for no good reason. Because he's not been injured really since he's like been here. He's not had like any issue, and you're just sitting him because, oh, I just thought it was a good time to get him a day. Oh, okay. In the middle of a playoff race,
right?
You thought it was a good time to get one of your best hitters because all those people career 205 hitter. He's one of the best hitters on the team right now.
Yep. So
you thought it was a good day to get one of your best hitters on the team a rest when you're chasing a spot in the playoffs. You don't have anything secured right now. I don't know how you rest anybody, to be honest.
Damn, real quick, I just want to throw this out there. The Orioles just right now trolling bad. I mean, they got some balls to troll, but they put the game up. Actually, it's an hour ago, but I just saw it. 3-2 to win. They said, which fan base loves us right now? It's funny.
Every fan base loves them right now because everybody likes to see the Yankees lose. But, like, Baltimore, do yourselves a favor. Shut the fuck up. Like, it's not even – what are you doing? Like, just take the win. Just take the win and like, go celebrate in silence somewhere. Like, what are you doing? Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back. Let's get back to good old Joey G. Caesar, take us away with Joe Gallo.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it doesn't make sense. You got, with Joey Gallo in the lineup, just makes his team better, makes the team line up a lot deeper. And, even like, with this whole thing of resting guys, back, it even frustrated you when they do it back in April, May, June. They do it. Okay, what do they say? Oh, well, we're resting these guys for, down the stretch. Okay, but we are down the stretch. So why are they resting? Doesn't make any sense at all.
The thing that pisses me off more than anything is that oh God, I don't even want to get aggravated, but I think about the way this club manages this team, and I swear to God, it's like they're kindergarten teachers, and they're walking the kids across the street and saying, "Hold my hand, buddies. Everybody hold hands. Let's go. It's all clear." The babiness of this team just shocks the shit out of me. And I'm not even talking about when do you rest guys? Yes, of course you rest guys. But why the hell does our manager have to have this constant, let me rest them when these guys are hot as shit? And he already said he doesn't believe in hot or cold. This is the manager of the Yankees, folks. Greatest organization in the world, never managed a game before. But yeah, this is the manager of the Yankees. And on top of that, we saw it with Luke Voigt. Luke Voigt won the player of the week. Yeah. And Boone was like, all right, 2 games in a row, we're going to rest you up. You need a rest, buddy.
And the beauty of it was that we had people on Yankees Twitter arguing with us, telling us it's not that big of a deal. He probably would have just went, look at what he did when he pinch hit in those games anyway. He just lined out or struck out or whatever. I'm like, yeah, you don't get it.
I got a theory on that. I actually got a theory on it.
You're taking at-bats away from hot hitters. Don't give me that bullshit that, oh, but look at what he did when he pinch hit. Will you expect him to do what he was doing in 4 at-bats the game prior and 1 at-bat today? Like, be realistic. Like, like if you never played the game, just say that. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, yo, if you never played baseball, say that then. Just say that, because I'm sick of, like, I'm seeing some of you say shit, and I'm just like, yo, I can tell right just 3 words into your tweet. I'm like, this kid never picked up a ball a day in his fucking life.
Right.
Never. Like, never even looked at a baseball for more than 5 seconds.
I got a theory.
There's no way.
I got a theory on a lot of this, to be honest. I think they share the same mindset that the Yankees are now putting out. And a lot of them are younger fans, so they didn't grow up with the generation we grew up with the 98 Yankees, 99, 2000, 2001. It's a completely different mindset. These kids now, a lot of the younger generation, Joe, I'm excluding you because I know you got the mindset too where you want the Yankees to win no matter what.
Yeah, no,
but
Joe is Old Testament. That's why
he is 100%, 100%. But the thing for me is that really just drives me mad. It gotta be that, because listen to this, man. And this is a stupid thing to bring up as a hypothetical that makes no damn sense. But somebody, I think his name is Earl on Twitter, he put a poll out, right, just to see what people would actually say. He said, if trading Judge right now guarantees a New York Yankees a World Series, would you do it? Do you know almost 22% of the people said no, they wouldn't? Yeah.
Because there's 22%, and there's probably way more, because if you did a percentage that included the entire fan base.
And it was like 250 people who voted.
Yeah, no, it would be a lot higher. It would be a lot higher if you did it with like millions of votes.
I believe that.
I guarantee you it would be damn near 40%. I guarantee there's like 40% of this fan base who would be like, no, I'd rather have Judge. And it's like, are you insane? Like, what do we do this for?
It's the mindset.
What do we do this for?
It's the mindset of what the Yankees are now putting off. When you have your owner at a club saying it's not a failed season.
I want to see him say that about this year.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, okay.
He'll find a way. He'll find a way. He'll say even if they don't make it, guaranteed. I'll put money on. I'll put anything anybody wants on.
We'll have to go live right after that, because
guaranteed
that man's obituary as soon as he says that shit.
Guaranteed, because they're gonna try to find a little bright light. They want some of the fans to think, oh, okay, we were good. Caesar, go ahead.
He'll just say, oh, it was a disappointing season, but so many good things happened.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Where you had that one good streak, 35-11. 40, that's 35-11. That's 46 games. 46 games out of an 162 game season. You're going to sit here and try to sell this to me as a W?
And if we really want to be asses too, we could even go back to last year's season and talk about the same problems they had that carried over to this year that nobody cared about. They turned their heads to it.
No, people don't like when we do that. Because every time we talk about Gleyber Torres, that's what I do.
He's coming up. He's coming up, but I want to get Joe.
Can't wait to touch that.
Joe, go ahead and tell us about the fellow Italian, Joey G.
Yeah. So since his arrival in New York, his first 32 games I think he had 5 home runs in his first 32 games, and then the next 12 he hit another 5. So he's been hot the last 12 games, and he gets sat when he's probably the most healthiest on the team, which doesn't make any sense to me why you're going to sit him. But I mean, they won that game, right?
Yeah.
At least that. I mean, so Boone probably thought he was fucking Jesus Christ. I sat him, we won.
He did the right thing.
That's the one I don't want sitting.
I was talking to Pops about Gallo. So my father was always against the Joey Gallo trade. He didn't want Joey Gallo on the Yankees just because of the strikeout thing, right? So me and him have always had a little bit of a back and forth on that, because I think Joey Gallo was a good fit along with obviously Anthony Rizzo. Not Gallo by himself, but getting Rizzo too, I thought was absolutely spectacular. I still think it was good. I'm not going to knock Brian Cashman on that. But a lot of Yankee fans act like they didn't know what they were getting. A lot of Yankee fans act like they had no idea who Joey Gallo was before he came here.
Pete, they actually didn't know.
You're probably right.
That's the worst part of it.
I guess you're right.
They actually didn't know.
It shocks me when cats like, oh, this guy struck out again. All he does is home run. Yeah. That's always been Joey. Joey Gallo's never been different. He didn't just decline all of a sudden and start not hitting 2-something. He's a career 205 hitter. We know what he does.
That's baseball, though.
Exactly.
In 2021, Pete, that's baseball.
Correct.
Walk, strikeout, home run.
Yes, correct. You got your few. But anyway, let's move on from that into a very exciting topic. A very exciting topic. So this one is going to dive us into some off-season fun. So Yankee fans, are you ready? Are you excited to talk about the one, the only Gleyber Torres? I don't even want to say his name. I can't wait for you guys to see the little picture I just put on the screen. It's him just smiling at us. His back is turned a little bit. He's looking over his shoulder, and he's like, yeah, you guys like me at second, don't you? You thought shit was going to change? Well, fuck off. Nothing is changing, baby. But there he is, Gleyber Torres. I'm going to have Caesar take us away because you were excited about talking about this one.
Yeah, what can I tell you guys? I'm fed up with Gleyber Torres already.
Is he ass?
He is. Gleyber is ass, like you say. Let me tell you something, man. I tried to support Torres last year and all, but this year he's just been a dumpster fire. Okay? Listen, and when Gleyber Torres came up in 2018, we all saw, the potential and the talent. He put up the numbers. But there was always something about him that just rubbed me the wrong way. His optics and all. And they're showing a lot this year. When he doesn't hustle. I mean, yesterday he had the nerve not being available to the media. So yeah, I think, and going into the offseason, I think the Yankees, really, I think it's easier for them if they want to move on from Gleyber Torres. Again, if you trade him, I don't know what you can get back. You probably won't get much in return. But there are options, obviously, with the shortstop free agent class coming up, and the two stud in the minors in Anthony Volpe and Peraza. Yeah. So there is options, I think, that could make it easier for this organization to want to move on from Gleyber Torres.
And real quickly, before Joe, I'll have you go right after that. But real quickly, I want to add that into it because that is a great point to bring up, and I talk about that all the time now when anybody brings up Gleyber is that, the one thing that fans are always concerned about, right, is that if we dealt Gleyber, you're kind of dealing him now at a lower point. He's not – the average isn't horrific and all that. He's definitely not the same guy, definitely not at a high point right now in his career. We all know that. But the Yankees have the very nice excuse of we made this move now because we also know what's coming. And these guys aren't far away. So that's a nice thing for the Yankees to have to understand. Well, look, we got Oswald Peraza and we got Anthony Volpe, who actually got ejected again today. I don't know what's going on with Anthony Volpe, but my man has he's Italian. What do you expect? Probably got a little attitude going on. Might have been hungry. There's probably a veal parmesan in the back that he wanted to get to. But, that's a good thing for the Yankees to have guys behind them to if you do move off of Gleyber. So, Joe, give us your thoughts on Gleyber Torres.
It's disappointing. So with Gleyber, I mean, I'm done with him. We have Volpe and Peraza basically coming up to. They're really close. I mean, we could see who Peraza next year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
It's just confusing because you have to trade him.
You believe you got to trade him? You have to trade him. Wow.
And or sign one of the shortstops that are hitting the free agent market.
Okay. Francis, what do you think?
Honestly speaking, man, if we're not moving Gleyber Torres this winter, we're not a serious organization. I don't care. I don't care to whoever's out there that's gonna say, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, whatever, man. Go fuck yourself. I've been watching Gleyber Torres screw up, and I was one of his biggest apologists at the beginning. And I think that's what gets me. Like, I was one of his biggest apologists. I was like, he's young. He's, super young. He's still learning. And he has this breakout season with the juice ball season. And I just remember saying to myself, I hope that this doesn't mess him up because, like, MLB is going to obviously, change the ball. They're going to mess with it because that's what Major League Baseball does. Like, our commissioner and, that's what he does. Manfred is going to Manfred some shit. That's just what he does.
Right.
So I was like, this is not going to last. But I hope, like, he's smart enough to realize, hey, that's never really been my style anyway. Like, I came up as a contact guy with some pop, but, like, that's not what I'm shooting for anyway. No, of course, he lets it change his whole identity. And now he's been having an identity crisis for what seems like 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm sick of watching it play out in real time on live television while he's wearing pinstripes. Because to me, that's just not the place where this thing is supposed to happen. Like, when, like we We just watched Derek Jeter get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Okay, this is the man who was manning this spot, right? With tenure before Torres and Didi Gregorius. Like, how the hell do we go from that to this that fucking fast? Is mind-boggling to me, and that's why I'm cursing, because it's just like it gets me like hot, emotional. Like, it's like, bro, we went from Jeter to this.
Well, you know what, Francis?
Like
I'll even
that.
throw Didi in there. We went from Jeter to Didi to him. Let's be real. I mean, Didi's actually. We can knock Didi all we want towards the last year.
Yeah, no, but
Didi was a very nice replacement.
Didi
was a very nice replacement.
Didi Gregorius is several steps up from Gleyber Torres.
Absolutely.
Not a step up, several steps up. When they went for Didi, I remember thinking, wow, okay, I see what they're trying to do. They need to get a shortstop, but they went and got a young guy. Oh, and he's a lefty contact guy. Oh, I like what they're doing. You know, short porch, but also not a guy who's looking to, you know, abuse the porch. He's just trying to get on base, slap the ball. I loved it. Then he came over here, and you know what? He wasn't the greatest shortstop of all time, but he held his fucking own, and he ended up being kind of freaking clutch too.
He made the plays.
He made and aside from all that, he made the fucking plays. Like, he caught the ball, he picked up the ball, he threw the ball well. Like, and honestly, like, I think I took that a little bit for granted. I was just like, bro, we got Didi, we're gonna be straight, like everything's good or whatever. And then they let Didi walk, and I was just like, all right. I mean, I don't like it, but I guess I see what they're doing. We got to, you know, they don't want to spend money on him. We're going to put the money elsewhere. And they decided to put that money into, you know, paying two relievers $30+ million and putting Gleyber Torres at shortstop. And now I'm pissed. So, yeah, if Gleyber Torres is not moved, we can't continue to call this a serious organization. All right. We know that DJ LeMahieu's career on the left side of the infield is coming to a rapid close, right? I think we all agree with that. DJ LeMahieu, we signed him to a 6-year deal.
He's not a third baseman.
If we want to see him make it through those 6 years more or less decent, he can't be on the left side of the infield. So you know what that means? That means he's primarily a second baseman moving forward. We know that Gleyber Torres is not a shortstop moving forward. So then where does that put him? First base? Yep. DH? We already have a log jam at DH. So where does that put him? You tell me. I tell you where it should put him. On the trade block. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Cincinnati. Yeah. Somewhere, anywhere. And I'm not saying, oh, trade him or whatever because he's not going to be shit, whatever. No. And I think that's where people get it wrong.
Yep, that is where they get it wrong.
They think we're saying to trade him because he's never going to amount to anything.
Yep.
I say this about him, and I say this about Gary Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
I think you change the scenery around both of those players.
Facts.
And they're going to be all-stars again.
Yep.
They're going to be all-stars again, and they're going to have decent seasons. Gleyber Torres might even win that MVP that people thought that he was going to win when he first came up. It might happen. Not in New York, though. It's not going to happen for him here.
The thing for me when it comes to Gleyber, right, when I sit back and I watch Gleyber Torres is I'm happy you brought that point up at the end because that's something I certainly wanted to talk about because a lot of fans just assume that, oh, but you know when he leaves, he's going to be great. Yeah, he probably will be good. He's only 24. He's probably going to be good at some point. Yeah, that wouldn't shock me at all. It's the same thing we said, if you remember. When Sonny Gray got traded, I said, guys, don't be shocked if this dude's dominant. Don't be shocked if he's going to be really good. Look, the problem when we think about stuff like that is we're too concerned about what the player leaving is going to do. Who gives a shit at that point? We saw what the guy did with us. I think Gleyber Torres in New York is a little bit of poison. I don't think it's good for him. I really don't. You see, I've never seen look. I always bring up Pops because Pops cracks me up, man. The other day I was talking to him. I said, Dad, you ever see this guy? He doesn't do social media and all that. So I said, he has an Instagram account where this guy's getting different partnerships, posing with different things. My dad said, yeah, but he sucks. Who pays him? I said, I don't know, but he's getting them. He's getting them somehow. He's always have some sort of promotion thing that's following him, and he's promoting some sort of item all the time. But you know, I was very against the idea of moving this guy in September. Now you come to find out it was actually the higher-ups that try to shake him up a little bit. No, that's not how you shake him up. You know how you shake him up? You sit his ass down. That's how you shake him up. You tell him, look, you're not better than Tyler Wade right now. You're not better than Andrew Velasquez right now. Guess where you're going to be playing? The bench. That's where you're sitting until you prove you're a better ball player. The Yankees are terrified to do that with anybody. Gary Sanchez the other day made the worst play in catcher history. He stayed in the game. He stayed in the game and got a little pat on his butt, and that was it. The worst play in catch in history. Gleyber Torres yesterday. Line drive. He drops the ball. He throws the ball to first base. He had no idea what was going on. Nothing. No mindset at all of what's going on. And, it's funny because somebody said, well, Pete, Robinson Cano was the same way. Robinson Cano was arguably the best hitter on the Yankees, you nutcases. Are you losing your mind?
He was like the top 5 players in all baseball.
He never struggled with the bat. You never looked at Cano and said, yeah, he gets lackadaisical at times. He was a damn good defender, But
he still made the plays. He
made the plays.
He looked the problem that people have with Robinson Cano is the problem of society today. Again, I'm not going to get political here, but I'm just going to say this one thing. That Robinson Cano didn't look like he was working hard enough for people.
Right.
That was the problem.
Right.
That was the problem. It's not that he wasn't actually working hard. It's not that he wasn't actually putting up numbers. It's that he didn't look like he was working hard enough. That was it. When Manny Machado hit free agency, what were people saying?
Same thing.
He doesn't look like he hustles. He doesn't look like
he's a bad teammate, remember?
He's a clubhouse cancer. Well, what do his numbers say? Because I like to deal in actuality, right? Like numbers, right? Yeah. And when people talk about the Cano thing and the freaking, I'm just like, what are we talking about? Like, because he didn't make the plays look hard. Oh yeah, and then whenever he did have an error, it was like, oh, you see, it's because he's so lazy or whatever. It's just like, but then you look at the numbers and it's just like, nah, he's actually a pretty decent freaking second baseman. Like he was actually a good second baseman.
Definitely.
And the bat never struggled.
Caesar, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, listen, I never had any problems with Robbie Cano. In those years, like I believe it was 2012, 2013.
Yeah,
he was one of the top players in baseball. And that's what got him his big contract with Seattle.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the other things that I'm happy I have I'm gonna pat myself on the back. Got a little decent track record going here. A couple of years ago, if you guys remember, me and Felix were the first ones to ever bring up the idea of moving on from Gary Sanchez and getting JT Realmuto. Everybody said it was nuts at the time. We were psychos. We were stupid. How can you talk about that? You can't give up on him. And I'm with, I think Joe said it, Francis said it, Caesar, I think you said it too. I'm all for seeing what you get for Gleyber and get rid of him and moving on from him. I really am. Look.
Yeah.
You got the backing of, I think, the majority of the fan base won, which at the end of the day doesn't matter because they're the ones making the moves. We aren't. But they're watching the same game as us. They're watching the same team as us. Now, of course, they got the more insight on it. You got to do a couple of different things. So we're about to get into more Major League Baseball conversation here. So I want to, before we do that, I want to get into a little bit of off-season, not pitching, because we're going to bring that up, I think, when we talk about the Cy Young a little bit. But when it comes to the idea of moving off from Gleyber, I don't want to talk. I don't care about what that move might look like. Who can you go out there and get? Obviously, there's starting pitchers available. There's a couple of things this offseason that I think are glaring, right? You got to shore up the infield defense. You got to shore it up. You got to have an idea of who is playing where and put guys in their damn position. Please. Please. Could Gio play short? Yeah, he probably could. Do I want to see him at short all year? I don't think so. Me personally, I don't think so. Do I want to see DJ LeMahieu at third base? No. I don't want to see LeMahieu at third base. I want him back at second base where he's a Gold Glover. Keep him there. I don't want to see Luis Severino. I don't want to hear all year off season about Luis Severino being the Yankees' number 2. That's why they don't need to go get anybody else. I don't want to hear about that. On the offensive side overall, please move on from Aaron Hicks. Please. Do we see how nice it is to have athletes on the club? It's nice when we got athletes. We got a good one in AAA, in Estevan Florial. Maybe find a fourth outfield that's a right-handed batter. Maybe do a little platoon action with him. Let's see what the kid got. We need athletes.
We got a couple coming up.
And we got a couple coming up.
Be that fourth outfielder next year.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I just don't want to have the same type of team. How many years do they have to go to see this offense just doesn't work? It has not worked.
Yeah.
I think that's where we can be a little optimistic, right? the trade deadline this year was literally like they literally checked every box that we wanted as a fan base, except for starting pitching, right?
Right.
We said, and even with that, we were saying like, look, we know that there's not really that much out there, and what's out there does like these guys don't even want to come here, so it's like, what can we do, right? So, fine, but like they got Clay Holmes, which was a
solid deal, huge deal,
big get,
yep,
right? And they go out and they get Joey Gallo and they get Anthony Rizzo, which was huge, right? And that was big, not just because they added to a lineup that was like clearly like, you know, struggling or whatever, but they went and they got 2 lefties, finally realizing that this right hand heavy power, like all or nothing swing BS was not working. So I'm a little teensy bit optimistic that, look, if finally at the trade deadline after all these years, we took a different approach at the trade deadline, especially in a year where Cashman's hands were kind of tied because Hal didn't want to go over the luxury tax threshold, then that should indicate that this winter there's nothing off the table in terms of like remodeling this team, because we don't got to worry about the luxury tax. And there's a lot of things there's a lot of pieces that should be and could be moved.
You know, I think a lot of people, including maybe some of you guys in here, may disagree with me, but I'll throw this one out there. I'm not a big fan of locking in another long offensive term contract. I'm not. Not with what the Yankees have coming up. And I know that sounds crazy because that's not me. You guys know I'm never the guy to be like, fall in love with the prospect. I want to see them up, sign the guys, get the players on the field now. I'm worried about more pitching because I think the offense can change. I think you could do many different things with the offense. I really believe that. My thing is, I have a hard time with the disrespect of Aaron Judge. Re-sign him already. Aaron Judge to be your priority this offseason, lock him up long term. I also like the idea of Anthony Rizzo coming back. The glove means more than anything. If Anthony Rizzo ever falls off and starts hitting 240, 245, honestly, that's not a concern for me because the glove is too damn important, especially with young guys coming up too. But I am not a big fan of saying we're going to go ahead and sign. Now, Carlos Correa, guys like that, I know a lot of us don't like him. He'd be terrific on this ball club. He'd be great on this ball club. Right-handed hitter and all, I understand it, but a huge contract. There's rumors out there that there's a possibility Trevor Story may accept a shorter-term deal. If that's ever a case and he wants a 2-year deal or something like that, yeah, I'm all for that. But I don't know how comfortable I am with locking up a major contract. Not because of payroll, but because I am actually extremely confident in what Oswald Peraza and Anthony Volpe can be. From everybody I speak to, look, this is something I talked about the other day too. They surpassed Jason Dominguez in Baseball America. They're both ahead of him. Mm-hmm. Now on MLB.com too, Volpe is the number one everybody has Volpe as the number one prospect. I'm not falling in love with prospects, so folks don't think that way. The thing for me is, I think there's other needs, especially on pitching. I still want to shore up a lot there. I think there's a lot of things you can do. There's also going to be a free agent pitcher that I'm going to be extremely excited about. But Caesar, I want to go to you. What is your thoughts on that? I'm still on, guys. My thing just went off.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Well, listen, if you start off with the offense, the infield here, I think I would not have a problem moving on from Gio Urshela. Believe it or not, Gio Urshela this year has had on the low has not had a good season. I
agree, by the way, but go ahead.
Okay. And you know what? And you mentioned about Anthony Rizzo. Now, I ask you, would you consider, I believe he's a free agent, Freddie Freeman? Also.
I don't think I don't think Atlanta leaves him. I don't think he ever leaves Atlanta.
Okay.
But yeah,
that's also,
yes,
that's also
I would be very interested in him.
I think you need the lefty bat. We know Joey Gallo was set, in the outfield. With Judge, Stanton, and I believe Guardia is your fourth outfielder. But I think you keep LeMahieu at second, get yourself another shortstop, or you bring up one of the two prospects, and catcher, I believe. I think you still go with Gary.
No.
Unless you have another option. Who else is out there?
Let me tell you something. I've been saying this for a while, right? And Joe and Francis, I definitely want to get to both of you guys on this. So we'll definitely get there. But it's funny because I went back and forth with somebody on Twitter and DMs about what I would do with Gary Sanchez because they think you keep him for the other year and just let it ride it out with him. We are so far past that, fam. We are so far past that at this point. Look, your $350 million pitcher will not pitch to him. He'd rather throw to a trash can than throw to Gary Sanchez. Let's be real here. Yeah. He's the ace of this staff. He is the team. He is the one they put all the money in to be the guy. Now, look, yes, the catching market is very, very odd. It's a very, very odd thing. There's not many great ones out there. But the Yankees don't need a catcher to hit 25 homers. They don't need a catcher to do this stuff. They don't. Look, you got a guy like Jacob Stallings out there that again, I've talked about often. Great defensively. Not a great hitter, but he's great defensively. The Yankees need that. You got to base it. And fans are going to say this is crazy. You got to base it off your ace. I'm not saying you make all the decisions off him, but your man gets paid a lot of friggin' money.
Yeah, listen, look, I'm all for, obviously, I've said it, I'm all for moving on from Gary. But again, you have to address the other areas of need.
Correct.
To make up for it. And then
here's my thing,
that's the case, yeah, of course.
So let me flip this back to you. If you've ever sat down and just looked at the Yankees roster, they got a shitload to trade. A shitload to trade. What are they doing with Miguel Andujar? What are they doing with Clint Frazier?
Watching them waste away.
Does Domingo Herman have a role? You could. Davey Garcia is still a legit prospect, whether you struggled or not. He's still very, very young in AAA. Clark Schmidt, we don't know what's going to happen. They got Luis Heel. Do we ever see a prospect for prospect trade? AJ Melendez is one of the top catching prospects in baseball. He's blocked by Salvador Perez. The kid got like 36 home runs this year in the minors. He could hit a ton, and he's a decent defensive catcher. So there's options like that out there. But then there's also the option, like I said before, you get somebody that can handle your pitching staff. They also got a lot of young pitchers coming up. Can you imagine, look, Gary Sanchez catching a Luis Medina? The dude throws 100+ miles an hour. He's effectively wild this year, breaking balls in the dirt. It'll be like a nightmare watching it. There'll be no point of it. These guys got to develop. But go ahead, Francis. Let me hear what you got to say about it.
I think there's guys out there, honestly. People, I think I said it last year, and people weren't too high on it. But remember, Zunino was a free agent last year.
Right.
I like Zunino a lot. I'm going to tell you why I like Zunino. Zunino's not going to hit for average. Okay, that we know that. Zunino's going to strike out. Yep, we know that. Zunino's also going to hit a ton of home runs, right? Like, not like 15, I mean like 25, 30 even.
He got 30 now.
And he catches a hell of a fucking game.
Great.
Like, he's catching a Rays staff that has some of the filthiest stuff in baseball.
That's right.
Year in and year out.
That's right.
And he never looks overmatched out there. Like, never. And he's constantly playing in like close games and things like, I mean, as of late, they've been scoring runs and stuff like that. But like normally with the Rays, his career there, they're playing close games and whatever. And he's comfortable there. He's not letting games get past him because he can't grab a ball. He can't catch a ball in the dirt, or he can't catch a ball that's up out of the, you know what I mean? Like, and that's all I want. That's all I want. The home runs are a bonus to me because we can bat him at the bottom of the lineup the same way that Tampa does for all I care. He doesn't need to be a middle of the order bat because if you ask me, the Yankees have enough of that as it is.
Exactly.
We already have enough of that.
And his defensive metrics, by the way, are off the charts. They're off the charts.
So last year I said it. People were like, Zunino, who cares, whatever. He went back to the Rays on a joke of a deal, and look at the season he's having.
Next year, right? Listen to this. Listen to this for a second. He has an option next year for only $4 million. Gary Sanchez is getting like, what, 6 this year? And he's going to get around the same thing?
Yep.
Joe, Killer Joe, man. Throw some fire at us when it comes to Gary Sanchez. What do you think?
So, I mean, what can you really say? It's been like this since what, 2018?
Yeah.
I think you move on from Gary. I don't even think you let him get this last year and then just not sign him. I think you could probably get a relief pitcher for him. It doesn't even matter what you get for him. You just need to get him off that payroll. $6 million, go put that somewhere else. And then with the roster, I mean, yeah, we have a bunch of trade. And when it comes to the infield, I don't see an infield starting the offseason. I see DJ LeMahieu at second and nobody at first, second, and third. And then the outfield, I mean, the outfield is pretty much set. Stanton, Judge, Gallo, and L'Oreal sitting in the minors. So, I mean, the priorities this offseason, you have to solidify the infield. I think you have to bring back Rizzo. Not just like you said, not because of his bat, but that glove. You have Peraza and Volpe. I mean, Rizzo would help out a ton with them playing short. When it comes to Glaber and Gio, I mean, realistically, I'd move on from both. But I mean, if you're gonna sign Story to like a short term deal, I would keep Gio and just move on from Glaber and Gary.
I agree with that.
And then the big number 2 in the rotation. I mean, that could be solved with one signing in the offseason.
Don't do it yet, Joe. Don't do it yet, Joe. We're going to get there. I know who you're talking about. But first, let's get into a fun discussion, guys. This is a fun one. The American League MVP. Thank God Jeff Passan is not in this conversation because we all know how that conversation would go. But I got to ask you guys. So here's what we're going to do first. You have the opportunity first to say who wins it. Then you got to have the opportunity. So all 4 of us are going to say who gets it. After that, one by one, we got to talk about why that person is going to get it. Okay? So here we go. We know the 2 big names, Vladdy Jr. and Shohei Ohtani. I will take the reins and I will start. Vladdy Jr. Caesar?
Vladdy Jr.
Joe?
Oh, Vladdy.
Francis?
We're saying who's actually going to win it?
Who do we believe? Who do we think? Not who's actually going to win it. Who do we think wins it?
Who do we think should win it?
Yes.
Oh, Vladdy. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to use a Aaron Boone quote here. This is like the unicorn. This is like the unicorn. Wow, we must be different. I want to jump into the comments. Let me start, please. If none of you guys mind, I want to start and talk about this. Years ago, there was a different time of baseball where analytics may have not been everything. And look, I am not against analytics, whatever, blah, blah, blah. There was a time in baseball where it was believed, and not even that I necessarily believe this, that the MVP is usually on a winning ball club. It's usually on a club that ends up going to the postseason and all that fun stuff. Shohei Ohtani is an unbelievable talent. I give him all the credit in the world. I think it's up for judgment if you think he's a better hitter or a better pitcher. I think people can, make that argument all they want. Vladdy Jr., in my opinion, has, along with Robbie Ray, has picked the Blue Jays up and said, guys, hop on. We're going to go for a fun ride this year. The man has a chance of winning the Triple Crown. How do you do something like that and miss? And I know what people would say. Well, he ran into the Ohtani machine who's hitting 40-plus homers and pitching well. He's also playing for the shittiest team in the league, right up there. You got to have... I believe there is something to value of your club winning. And I know that people will say, well, that makes it unfair for bad teams. Mike Trout has done it for a while. He's won a lot with a bad team not winning. The Triple Crown is very, very special. Watching Vladdy and what he does is very special. Again, not taking anything away from Ohtani. But when I hear MVP, I'm sorry, guys. This is just me. Maybe you think different. When I hear MVP, I'm looking at the leaders of the divisions. I just am. I'm looking at who's going to the playoffs. That's how I am. And Vladdy has carried this club. The guy has a chance at a Triple Crown. When was the last time the Triple Crown was done?
2012.
Miggy.
Cabrera.
Miggy. And look at the year Miggy had. Did Miggy win the MVP?
Yeah.
Okay, bingo. I mean, okay, now, again, I know the Ohtani lovers, if Jeff Passan was here, well, he didn't also pitch and did... I understand that he's an exceptional talent. He's getting so much love this year. How much more? I get it. He's an exceptional talent. My vote goes to Vlad Jr. Caesar, I'll let you take off next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, watching baseball in the 90s and early 2000s was all about the player, who helped his team get into the playoffs. Like, I look back in the year, like it was in 2000 when Jeff Kent won it. There was so many guys who probably had like, better numbers than him,
Right.
power numbers. But you know what? He was more valuable to his team for what he did and got him into the playoffs. So yeah, no, I mean, and again, and MLB, this definitely has his heart on right now for Ohtani. I said it all year. It goes back to when when Miggy Andujar got robbed of the Rookie of the Year in 2018.
Yep.
So yeah, but no, Vladdy should win it, but it'll probably end up being Ohtani.
Oh yeah, I think if all of us were asked who gets it, I think we all say Ohtani, just because we know how baseball is.
And you know something? And I think, and I'm not saying he will, I think even Aaron Judge should get some consideration.
No doubt.
He's top 3. Sure.
No doubt. No doubt about it. So Joe,
Aaron Judge should finish high.
Definitely should. Joe, what do you? I know you also said Vladdy. What's your reason behind it?
I mean, 2 words: Triple Crown. Since I was a kid, when Miggy won that in 2012, I was obsessed with that. I mean, you saw Triple Crown, you saw MVP. Mm-hmm. And this might be the first time someone gets the Triple Crown and they don't win MVP, which is absurd. Ohtani's a great pitcher. He's a great player, but I mean, he's with the Angels. The Blue Jays are about to make the playoffs with their young hitters, and just Vladdy's background, who his dad was. He comes up here, he wins the Triple Crown, being the son of Vladdy. I mean, I give it to him.
I'm there. Francis, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, before passing as a heart attack, I will give Ohtani his credit. Yeah, what he's doing? Have we seen it in my lifetime? No. Is it true that Babe Ruth didn't do these at the same time? That is true. He was a pitcher first and then went to become a full-time hitter. That's true. I'll give you that. But all that aside, baseball, Major League Baseball is about one thing, right? It's about being the last team standing at the end of the season. And to me, like, you can do whatever you want all year and have the best individual numbers and pitch and hit and whatever, and it's all good and dandy. But unfortunately for him, he chose to do it on a team that he knew wasn't going to be a contender.
Yep.
And so while he's having, a decent season as a hitter, not average wise, he's only like a 250 hitter average wise, which is like Gio for that matter. But he has 44 bombs, which is pretty big. So, I mean, imagine a guy who can hit 44 bombs and pitch to an ERA of 3.36. Yeah, 3.36. That's something pretty crazy. Like that's phenomenal, right? But to do it on the Angels, a team that's never really been in it from the word go this season, it's not guarantee MVP for me. If he did it on a team that was playing in a playoff atmosphere every day,
it's different.
Like Vladdy is, to me, that's different.
Definitely.
See, what I'm trying to tell people is, if Vladdy doesn't win the Triple Crown and they gave it to Ohtani, I'm not going to argue. I think Vladdy is the MVP. I think you need to figure out something different for players like Ohtani, if that's what we're going to be, because then it just becomes unfair. Because Vladdy is getting judged for the fact that he can't pitch, if you really think about it then, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I really don't like the idea of MVPs starting to go to Ohtani, just because the precedent that it can set. Because now all of a sudden it's like, oh, so you got to do so now everybody who's playing in this generation in the American League, you can pretty much just pack it in, because if this guy hits 35 plus home runs, 40 home runs, and pitches to a 3.5 ERA, he's the most valuable player on his team, and you can't argue it. So to me, it's about the precedent, right? But if Vladdy wins the Triple Crown on a team that's been fighting for a playoff spot all freaking year in the AL East, battling with teams like the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Rays all year fucking long, playing against Houston, against the White Sox, I'm sorry, I don't know how you give that award to a dude who's literally just been baseball show pony all year.
Yep.
Like, the only pressure on him is the fact that he knows that every camera is on him every time he takes the field. That's the pressure that's there. But pressure to win, I mean, I'm sorry, but you're not going to argue that to me, that this guy has that kind of pressure. Because It's not there.
It's an amazing point. If I could just throw this out there real quick, you're spot on. I mean, Vladdy leads like the world in just about everything you could look at. I mean, I'll let you do that, Joe. But the other thing I just want to say too that Francis is so right about. Are we also missing out on how pitchers pitch to a guy like Vladdy compared to Shohei, compared to the teams? You're right. He's playing important games. Ohtani's not.
Nope.
Ohtani's not. When did he play an important game this year?
When has he played
Opening
an
day?
important game in his career?
Yeah,
in his
yeah.
career.
Yeah. I mean,
It's back
that's
in a long
an
time ago.
the American League East also, let's be real, it's the best division in the American League.
In baseball.
Or arguably in baseball.
Listen,
Vladdy's doing
Definitely.
that with this team. Look, when I see the Jays come in, right, I'm thinking about Vlad Jr. They got Teoscar Hernandez. I heard somebody say too, oh, well, he got more protection. He's the protection. What are you talking about? He's the protection.
you think Bo Bichette would be half the player that he is if he wasn't hitting in a lineup?
Not necessarily,
with Vladimir
no.
Guerrero Jr.?
No.
Come on, guys.
No.
Absolutely not.
Come on, Joe, throw those numbers out there, what he's leading
No,
in.
these numbers, it's filthy. I didn't think he was leading in all this. So, I mean, I'm going to bring up he's leading in 2 out of the 3 for Triple Crown, which is batting average and home runs, and he's only 4 RBI shy of tying Jose Abreu right now.
Is it or Sal Perez?
And Jose Abreu.
Jose
Has
Abreu.
7, yeah.
Sal Perez is the one that keeps tying him with the home runs.
Right. Oh, that's right. Right.
So, I mean, right now he leads in runs, hits, home runs, batting average, on base percentage, OPS,
Come on, man.
slugging. He leads in everything.
Come on.
I don't know how you don't give him the MVP.
Yeah, what else does he have to do for him to actually get it?
He has to
Win
pitch.
the World
Oh,
Series.
that's right. Yeah, I was just about to say
Oh,
that.
pitch, yeah.
Apparently, he has to.
I was
He has to
just about
start.
to say that.
He has to
Yeah.
start a game. And
That
if he
shit would be
starts a game-
hilarious if they ever got like out of it or they clinched early somehow and they go ahead and just make him start a game.
You say, "Hey, start
Or,
a game." see if
or
they'll
have him come out of the
consider you.
bullpen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come out of
some
the bullpen. At
bullshit.
least you get an inning in there.
Yeah.
I
My
mean,
thing is, it's listen with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I think it's very, 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 very simple. Like this kid has the pressure on him all year long, and he's answered the bell every single time. Like every single freaking time. We haven't seen Ohtani with the pressure. The most pressure he's had this year, if you ask me, was maybe in the home run derby, and he folded.
When he came here and he finally pitched against us.
Oh yeah, and what happened? And what happened there?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Wasn't there also a time where he didn't pitch against us for some odd reason?
Yeah, when we just came from LA, and apparently, he
Oh
was,
yeah,
he
he
was
was
afraid.
spinning the arm.
Yeah.
Remember that
That's
one,
what I
everyone?
said.
but he was good to go his next start right after that.
Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah.
So
No, I
So
wonder why.
that's obviously our thoughts on that. The next one I think is a little more interesting to be. No. There's a lot more debate I think on this one, but the next one we're going to talk about is the American League Cy Young, and it's going to come down to, we already know this, our ace. So maybe there might be a little bias here. Garrett Cole versus tremendous talented to be free agent Robbie Ray.
Future Yankee Robbie Ray.
Should have been already. He should have been doing. Then again, he probably wouldn't be doing this for the Yankees. So I'm gonna keep it
Should've
real.
been.
Hey, Simonelli,
Should have been a Yankee.
Simonelli's been calling his name out for what, like
3 years. Minimum.
But I can remember. Yeah.
At least 3 years.
Minimum 3 years. So it's funny. Let's do the same
But you
thing.
know the thing is that Simonetti's a fraud.
Yeah, 100%.
that's
So it doesn't
what
matter.
It
It doesn't matter. You know,
Apparently, Robbie Ray, what Robbie Ray is doing right now is it's all
it's fake.
eyewash. It's not real.
It can't happen. It's never been done before.
Because
Guy's
I
never
was
gone
told-
from not being great to great the next year. It's never happened.
I was guaranteed in the comments on YouTube that Pete didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
No, I mean that's
There
been
was
told
no
many
way.
times.
I was told that there was no way that Robbie Ray would ever be anything close to good.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
So this one is going to come down to the wire, in my opinion. This is not settled right now. Can't be settled right now. This is not
No.
settled. So let's go over the scenarios. In my opinion, you guys let me know you agree, and then we'll choose who we think wins it. Cole needs to have 2 great starts, no doubt about it. Robbie Ray needs to have 2 great starts. One of these guys are trending like this because of their ball club, and the other one is kind of like, we're just here. We know who that is. The Yankees we're just here, right? We're floating along. The Blue Jays are whipping ass. They spanking ass all left and right now.
They really are.
And Robbie Ray is like, all right, the pitching side, get me a run. Get me 2, Todd. Get me 2 and we good. And this team's going to score more, but get me 2 and we're good. If Robbie Ray has 2 more starts, guys, he wins it. That's my opinion. If Robbie Ray has 2 more good starts and the Jays get in, Robbie Ray's going to win this thing. That's my opinion. Caesar, I'll go to you.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, not that long ago, the Blue Jays, we thought, they're going to fall out of it. But look what they've done. Look, right now, season ended today, they're going to the playoffs. And I don't know. I don't have Robbie Ray's numbers in front of me. But like you said, it will come down to the wire here.
I'll read them off to you. Caesar, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He has a 6.8 WAR. He is 12-5, 2.64 ERA, 29 starts, 177 innings pitched, 233 strikeouts. And real quickly, too, before you continue that, I had somebody to me the other day said, well, Pete, I mean, these strikeout numbers are extraordinary. I said, look at his career, you nitwit. He's always done this. This is not new. The strikeout numbers are not new. He just finally learned how to control whatever they did with his motion. I never looked into it. He's obviously learned how to control his pitches. So, Caesar, go ahead. Those are his numbers on the year. Terrific numbers.
Definitely. And Garrett Cole, I think, as good as he's been, I think he has not been at his best this year at times. I felt like at times he's had a little hiccups here and there.
Yep.
But I think we'll sell it down. I think, I think it goes to Robbie Ray.
Wow. Francis, what do you got?
I'll tell you like this. When did Garrett Cole's last start was when?
Against Baltimore. The first game.
Baltimore, game 1 against Baltimore. So that means
He got what, 2 or 3? 3, right?
That he could feasibly have 3 more starts. It's possible. Let me just look though to be sure. Because if he started the first game against Baltimore, and we won that game, was that one? 9-3? That was that game? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What? That long ago? No, I'm bugging. That was Tuesday.
Yeah, that was Tuesday.
Tuesday he started. So that would mean what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would mean he's starting on Saturday against the Indians. He should be able to dominate, right?
Right.
You guys are right? Okay.
Yeah.
Saturday. Well, that's 1 more start. Then you got 2. Oops, sorry. There you go. You got 2, 3, 4, 5. Then his next start would be against the Rangers. Dominance, right? Are we in agreement?
I agree.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he'd have a start against the Blue Jays. Oddly enough, to probably seal it. That will be his last shot, because after that series, I don't think he pitches
till the playoffs.
Right.
Unless there's some way that we really need the last game against the Rays to like get into the wild card game, and then they start him in that game. That's the only way I could see him getting. It's possible that he does get 4 more starts, actually. Yeah. Now, if that happens, like I said, I have him dominating the Indians. I have him dominating Texas. And you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and let my bias rule me and say that in that start against Toronto, he's going to shove.
You all for the Cole train then?
So.
You got Cole winning.
I'm on the Cole train, but here's my caveat. If Robbie Ray matches him in these next 3 starts, they're going to give it to Ray. Not necessarily because he deserves it, because I think that if Ray matches him in these next 3 starts, they're going to finish the year with equal numbers, and it can literally go either way. But because it can go either way, they're going to give it to Ray, because Cole's a Yankee and Yankee bias exists. And nobody's going to argue that with me. If they have an opportunity to take out an award and not give it to a Yankee, they're going to give it to the other guy.
I agree.
So if Cole's going to win this, he has to find a way to beat Ray in a very clear way. If the numbers are right now, the numbers are really similar. Like Ray's ERA is 260 something. Cole's at 275.
Yep.
Right. He's got 230, 233 strikeouts. Cole's got 224. Everything's right there. The walks hits per inning. Cole's a 1. I think his walks or hit per inning might be better than Ray. because Cole barely walks anybody.
I can tell you right now.
Yeah, what's Ray's whip?
His whip right now is 1.009.
Cole's
Exactly.
1.002.
Yeah. So they're close, right? I'm saying he's 12 and Robbie Ray's 12 and what?
12 and 5 and
12 and
Cole's
5, yeah.
15 and 7, right? Then I'm telling you, when you look at it, the numbers are really, really close.
A little more innings pitched for Ray.
Ray has more innings pitched.
Obviously
Cole-
leads the league in strikeouts.
And
missed
Cole, I
time.
believe Cole right now leads American League in wins, right?
Wins
Yeah.
and whip.
Wins and whip.
strikeouts
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Yeah, he's down on strikeouts because he missed
2
all
starts.
the starts with COVID.
Right, COVID,
That's
yep.
the only reason why. it's so
COVID
close.
and
And then he had the
The
hamstring
hamstring.
shortened start, which didn't help either.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. If basically what's gonna have to happen is Cole's gonna have to shove the next 3 starts, and Ray is gonna have to have a clunker mixed
He needs
somewhere
one
in his
innings
next
out,
3
yeah.
starts. He'd have to have like a start where he doesn't get out of the 4th inning and he gives up like 3. Not a clunker, and I'm not saying I'm not saying he has to get rocked for like 6 or 7 runs or some shit like that.
Right.
If that happens, it's over. Like Cole
Oh,
runs
yeah.
away with it.
Oh, yeah.
But
Maybe that's against us.
exactly, hey, you never know. You never know. Stranger things have happened.
I don't know if I could bet on that
Things
one.
have happened.
But we'll see.
But the way things are looking, if we face Robbie Ray, it's not gonna be a fun day. It's
So,
not gonna be a fun day.
Caesar and Joe, before you guys go, I think Caesar, you already went, didn't you? No, you guys didn't go. You guys
Yeah.
didn't go. Oh, you did go
I did.
about this one. Okay.
I was the last one.
So-
I was the last one on this.
Here is just to give everybody a heads up. The Jays play the Twins, the Rays, 4 against the Twins again, 3 against the Yankees, and then 3 against the Orioles.
Yep.
So if he makes 2 starts, I don't know when he started last, so I'm not gonna go there. But if he goes against the Twins again,
just-
and then the Orioles, whew,
Nah,
He
I
just-
think it's gonna be a challenge for the Twins, especially with all their righty hitters.
so they gotta hope, and they're probably
The
adjusted
Twins,
where he starts
Joe-
against the Rays. I would assume.
Sano and
Yeah.
Donaldson against Robbie. I see. them
Joe's
both.
right. Joe's right. If there's any team that's going to present an issue with the remaining games, it would be the Twins.
The Twins.
It would be the Twins
'Cause of the
they're-
right- some of the righty bats.
they got really good right-handed hitting. Polanco doesn't give a shit who's on the mound. He
Yeah.
just
Right.
hits.
Right.
And so if it is going to happen, it's probably Minnesota. If it's going to happen,
I got a feeling they'll figure it out where he's starting against the Rays though.
and if he does start against the Rays, it's probably going to be pure dominance. I'll tell
And
you
then
that
again,
right-
I mean,
I'll
where
tell
the
you that
Rays
right
are, they're
now.
not catching the Rays, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
That doesn't
so-
really matter. It's the way they line up the postseason if they get him more than anything. So Joe, who do you got?
I mean, it's tough. The reason why it's tough is because the 2 starts in the hamstring injury. Because if he didn't miss those 2 starts and he didn't come out of that game cold all the way, and same thing with Francis, what he said with the Yankee bias. If it's that close, number to number, it's gonna go to Robbie just because he's not a Yankee. But I mean, 3 starts left for each pitcher. Cole needs to dominate all 3 starts, and if Robbie has that one bad start, Cole will definitely get it. But I can't pick anybody right now.
It's definitely a tough one.
Yeah.
It definitely
Yeah.
it's Caesar. Who do you got
Let's
again?
He pitched last night, by the way.
He did pitch last night. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Robbie Ray pitched
he was
last
good
night.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seven innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 13 Ks.
Well, it depends. Garrett Cole. His next 3 starts has to be dominant, not just for that, but also just hopefully he
team.
gets the Yankees in
Yeah,
in
that's
the
right.
playoffs. So
That's right.
so we'll see. But I think it will be Robbie Ray.
So now we're gonna go into another conversation. The off season comes around. Robbie Ray is gonna be a free agent, guys. Let me ask you guys a question. If you guys know this, what pitcher, and we're looking at just pitchers in history of all time, has the greatest strikeout per 9 ever?
It's him.
It's Robbie Ray. By the way, he in MLB history, he has the best K-9 numbers of all time. That's why I was laughing when I was told that he's never been this big strikeout guy, and it's idiotic. I mean, let's just throw some stuff out there. And the reason we're talking about is we're talking about the offseason. We're not just doing a hype show for Robbie Ray here. Let's just go over this. 174 innings, 218 strikeouts. 162 innings, 218 strikeouts. 123 innings, 165 strikeouts. 174 innings, 235 strikeouts. And then this year again, 177 right now, 233. Yankees, we're all begging you. We've missed out on so much. If you can pair up Cole with Robbie Ray, and then whatever the hell you get from Luis Severino, however else you figure out the rotation from there, to pair out those two at the top of a rotation, righty-lefty combo, that strike out everyone that comes around to them, how in the hell are you not lining it up to bring this man to New York? Somebody just tell me how it's even possible that Robbie Ray is not a Yankee next year. 1, 2, you got the convenience of taking him from the Jays, right?
Of course.
Best strikeout pitcher in baseball with Cole, the 2 best, arguably. How do you not do it?
That's the move that you can't afford not to make. You can't.
They missed, by the way, too.
Listen.
I confirmed this today with Kevin Kernan. 2 times they've missed out on him during trades when they were close to getting him. 2 different times. I reported on both of those. Peter Gammons did too. When they were close to getting Ray, the most recent one was Ray and Archie Bradley, and it fell apart. I don't know the players now, but that one fell apart. So the Yankees like him. We know that. We know they like him. That's the reason earlier I was saying I don't know about all the shortstops. This is the guy to go to. This is the guy to
spend money on, because the thing is, like, we have shortstops coming up. Volpe is like being touted really highly right now, and he's not far away. So it's like, if you sign somebody, sign a stopgap. But if you don't sign a stopgap and you just want to promote from within, Peraza's right there. Like, he could man it until Volpe comes
I was going to just say that. Can I just say that? Peraza could play right now at this level.
Yeah.
When you
signed to the 40-man.
Correct. And when you do numbers the way he's doing at AA, you got to remember, people don't recognize this a lot. AAA has a lot of journeymen.
Yeah.
AA has a lot of the legitimate talent.
All the talent is in AA.
Everybody knows that. AA is where a lot of guys see their numbers and they go, damn, this guy's good. My man is smacking the shit out of AA pitching. And also people forget how quick the damn guy is. The guy got great speed too, 30-plus bases this year. Terrific prospect. But I agree with you, Francis. I'm right there with you.
Get him up here.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to spend the money, if you're going to spend any money this offseason, the first dimes that you need to drop need to be Robbie Ray. It has to be. If the Blue Jays are going to dick around with this guy and like pretend like they don't need him, like we need air to breathe, then we need to swoop in and steal him right from under their noses. And literally, like there's like every reason to do it. Like, he's in your division right now. You don't want to let your division get stronger. That lineup is already ridiculously formidable as it is. We're not going to be able to match them offensively. We're not going to be able to beat them offensively. We'll be able to match them on a good day, but beat them, like, we're not that young, and like our young talent is still far away. So we're not gonna be able to beat them there, but we can beat them rotation wise. If we go and we take Robbie Ray from them and we pair Robbie Ray with Garrett Cole, they're not fucking with us. And then it literally takes them out of the equation. It also takes Boston out of the equation because even though Boston started off this year great or whatever, they've reverted to what they were expected to be since the All-Star break. So if they don't get starting pitching and they don't do anything with the lineup, they're going to be what they're going to be. And Baltimore is Baltimore, and Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay, and that's it. We already know what the division is. So it's like, we make a move like that, you're sending that message like, bro, you have Garrett Cole and Robbie fucking Ray. Okay? No fucking excuses.
Yep.
No fucking excuses.
No doubt about it. He's gonna be 30 years old. He signed only $8 million this year. So Caesar, you let us know where's your thoughts on all that?
No, yeah, I agree. Listen, as a fan, we want them to do this. You know, we have all the reasons why, as Francis just said. Now it's just a matter of them actually doing it. That's all. You know, forget about the whole payroll bull crap and, you know, the threshold. Go out and get this guy.
It's also not going to be a Cole type deal. Let's remember that too.
Exactly.
It's going to be a Zach Wheeler type deal.
I could see that. Exactly. I could see Zach
Very
Wheeler.
Good call, Joe. Very good call.
Zach Wheeler maybe a little bit more pricey just because of the fact that if he's signing with the Yankees, you know there's always the Yankee premium. And 2, what he did this year in the American League East, in the American League in general, after coming from the NL where people said, oh, he's going to get, worked in the American League. It's not going to work out. There's going to be eyes on him. If the Blue Jays play around with him and they're like, whatever, there's going to be a lot of teams in on him. So it's going to drive the price up because there's not that much, at least not that fucking good, available in terms of pitching this year. It's him and Max Scherzer. And if Max Scherzer automatically eliminates East Coast teams, we know what kind of game it's going to be.
Yeah, I heard a rumor about Max Scherzer. I'll say it on here because it's not like we answer to anybody, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, I heard a rumor about Max Scherzer that he's a little up here, a little crazy up top, and New York media and stuff like that wouldn't be a good fit for him. I don't know if it's like anxiety, and I'm not saying anxieties people are crazy. I suffer from very bad anxiety. But yeah, I've actually that's something I heard here recently that that it might be a little bit crazy up top, that he wants to stay away from all that. So that wouldn't shock me because the Yankees were off his list immediately. We knew that was like a no very early on. So
I was going to mention him earlier too. Like, he's could be a fit here in New York, but I guess not.
No, I don't see that. I think that's impossible. That'll never happen.
Yeah.
I know people want Max, right? And I get it. I see the draw there too. But what you got to remember with Scherzer is that Scherzer's already up there in age, right? I'm not saying that he's not going to be good next year. He's probably going to be phenomenal next year. He's probably going to be in the Cy Young conversation next year. So don't misinterpret me. I think he's still going to be good. But what I'm saying is the Yankees aren't going to sign him to the kind of deal that he's looking for, and he knows that. There's no need to even fuck around with it. Like, he knows Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman are not giving him that deal. So why even pretend like that's an option when you know it's not? That's where people see the Mad Max start to come out, because other people would say, bro, you kind of have to tell people that the Yankees are in on your free agency so you can drive your price up. Max Scherzer is so fucking crazy. He doesn't care. He's like, nah, it's not a realistic thing. I'm going to let everybody know that from the jump. I'm not going to the Yankees. And he just says it. And then he says, oh, I'm not going to the Mets either, which probably because they're a dumpster fire. And I understand that too. It's like, who would want to go there? That is what it is. But Robbie Ray is like, it's a can't miss move. And if he comes over here and he struggles a little bit, some people are going to be like, oh, we should have never signed him, whatever like that. And that's fine too. But I think what he's shown this year is that, listen, he can do it. And he can do it here. Take advantage, man. Just take advantage. He's right there. All it's going to cost you is money. It's not going to cost you prospects.
Yep.
Think about it.
Yeah.
The thing that was stopping us in the past was prospect capital. They didn't want to part with the prospect capital. When Cole hit free agency, all it took was money. Now Robbie Ray is going to do the same thing. All it's going to take is money.
And a lot less than Cole. A lot less than Cole.
A whole lot less. And we stayed under the luxury tax threshold this year. So if we want to blow through that shit next year, it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. We got to do something. I mean, if not, then it doesn't make sense to even extend Judge, because what are you extending him for?
Yeah.
So he can waste the rest of his prime
rest
here?
of his career, yeah. Joe, you were kind of leading into it earlier about Robbie Ray potentially, so I'm assuming you're all for him coming over here.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, what that deal reminds me of getting Robbie, even though it's in different years, was getting CC and then AJ. That's what it reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's I mean, Joe, I'll even throw this one at you too. When is the last time the Yankees had such a dominating two at the top of their rotation?
I don't even remember. At least I wasn't alive for it.
Probably AJ.
CC Moss or Sevy, really.
Or when Tanaka's first couple. I just feel like prime. They weren't like both prime for whatever reason.
I don't think we've seen
like a strong 1-2.
I feel like I've seen it. I feel like I've seen it, but like it's been a long time. I have to go back to freaking Roger Clemens.
That's what I was gonna say. Clemens, Pettit,
2003. I think that was like the year like the Yankees had the best rotation.
03.
03 that I can remember.
There was a year too with Moose, wasn't it?
That's correct. Who they have? They had Clemens, Pettit, Mussina, Wells.
Cone.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Pettit.
And they had a really dominating year pitching wise.
See, those years was freaking dominance. I can't believe we never won a ring with Mike.
Well, we went to the World Series that year, but
Yeah.
we unfortunately ran into the Marlins.
That World Series was lost when Wells went down with the back injury.
Oh, yeah,
Game.
that's right. That's a good point. You actually brought up a really good point. I want to go ahead and just look at that. I want to look at that rotation real quickly on the pitching side because that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Andy Pettitte. Let's go to actual pitching here. Mike Mussina that year was 17-8 with a 3.40. David Wells was 15-7, 4.14. Roger Clemens 17-9, 3.91. Andy Pettitte was 21-8, 4.02. But the amazing thing out of those numbers is the amount of work those guys put in. 208 innings for Pettitte, 211 innings for Roger Clemens, 213 for David Wells, 214 for Mike Mussina. That usually guarantees you the World Series. Throughout history, if you guys know this, I'm pretty sure. Throughout history, 5 starters that usually stay with you the longest and actually throw innings, they usually go to the World Series. It's kind of been that way.
Yeah.
And they have been that good. But I'll tell you what, for the people in the comment section that are saying CeCe and Burnett, but I'll tell you now, in their primes and the way they're looking right now, Cole and Ray make them look like a joke.
Bro, Cole and Ray, let me tell you, Cole and Ray would literally be like what you're seeing right now with the Brewers, but probably more powerful.
Yeah, Brewers and then even the Dodgers right now with Bueller
Exactly.
and Scherzer. Yeah, I mean,
and I'll tell you one thing, people might think it's biased. Bueller, Scherzer, Cole, Ray. I like Cole Ray better.
Me too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like Cole. I like
They
Cole
doing
Ray
it.
better.
They doing it in the best division. They're breaking
And
records in the
definitely.
best
Think about it.
division.
And you go righty to lefty, 1-2. You got like the right hander who comes in, freaking ace mentality, type A, like freaking screaming at you on the mound, striking you out, like whatever. Like it's freaking Garrett Coleman. He just like screams ace, and then the next day, Robbie fucking Ray, who's gonna strike your guys out 13 more times, as if they weren't embarrassed enough the night before.
Yeah.
Now they got to deal with this guy, and he's a lefty. It's like, bro.
Oh, they better sign
if
this
you're-
guy. They better sign
Imagine
this guy.
if you're one of those teams that switches up your lineup day to day, depending on who's starting, from one day to the next, you already have to make changes because it goes from Cole to Ray.
See, Francis, you brought up some good points too, and it's funny because I keep telling you, and I'm like, we are getting closer and closer to the off season, and we're gonna have off season shows, and we're gonna be talking about Robbie Ray until he signs somewhere, and hopefully it's the Yankees, but we're gonna have these shows. But that's why every time the off season is brought up to me, I'm like, guys, stop talking about shortstops. Like, I know Glaber's bad. I understand it. I understand we don't know what we're going to do with him. Right now, you got Gio Urshela playing short. That's probably not going to happen next year. I get it. I truly get it. But like Francis said, you do have options. You got guys that are close. You also have guys you go out there and just sign. Hell, I wouldn't be too mad if the Yankees keep Gio. Gio's healthy at third base, and Squid gets the spot as short for a little while.
Why not?
Until Oswald Peraza is ready, and the Yankees go. And the Yankees can make it known in the sense that, hey, he's starting. We also have some guys coming up. Peraza's going to start in AAA. He has to. Can't
At
keep.
least.
He should have been in AAA already, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, while you guys get to it, I'm gonna pull his numbers up too, just to let the fans know why we're saying that now. But you can't. There is times in baseball, right, where we always sit back and go, this probably happens like once in a generation. You don't see this often. When you can add two of the best, not just strikeout pitchers, the best pitchers overall, you have to do it. You cannot miss. You cannot miss on that. You can't do it.
Yeah, there's no excuse for it. The only acceptable excuse to me is he re-signs with Toronto. Okay,
I don't think he does.
You don't have a right. If he re-signs with Toronto, then you don't have a shot. But my thing is Toronto.
If they were smart, they would have done it already if they wanted to get him.
My thing is, the extension talk should have been started, 1, and 2. If he is going to be in that like Zach Wheeler price range or whatever, you got to remember they're already paying a big contract to a pitcher in Ryu.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, they have money to spend, but then they're also a team who's thinking like, should we shift our focus to extending Vladdy? Right? People aren't thinking about that yet.
Yeah.
But remember, nobody was thinking about it with Tatis, and then boom, 13-year extension. Hold that. Like,
yep.
So if the Padres could do it with Tatis after the year that Vladdy's having right now, you don't think the Blue Jays are at least thinking about it somewhere in their mind? Like, yeah, maybe we should lock this kid up because he's about to be box office. And if that's the case, then maybe they let Ray walk and say, yo, listen, we got this Manoah kid, we got this, we might be all right.
Yeah, you got Pearson. Pearson's one of the top.
We got Pearson. You know what I'm saying? We might be okay starting pitching wise. Instead of spending this money on him, why don't we extend Vladdy early and hopefully get a bit of a discount? And shit, maybe we could start talking to Bo Bichette too about it, and maybe we could just lock this up and make this our core for years to come.
Right.
Just saying.
Or maybe even they want to look into, I don't know, when Barrios hits free agency.
Oh, close. He got one year left. 1 year left.
He only has another year left.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to, extend him.
Yeah, and he's younger.
And he's not a bad option. He's not a bad option at all.
Not at all.
It's not like, oh, they can't afford to lose Ray because he's their only guy or whatever. No, he's not their only guy, and they have Pearson coming up, and they have decent arms around him right now. That's why they've been kicking everybody's ass the last couple of weeks, because they have decent pitching.
Right.
Now, that's the thing. When they have all that, and you're a team who's notoriously not known for spending that kind of money, it wouldn't shock anybody if they say like, hey, we traded for Ray, he gave us his time or whatever, but like he's going to price us out. He's just going to be too expensive for us. That wouldn't shock me. Now, if that is the case, the Yankees cannot afford to let anybody say that, oh yeah, we're going to pay you more than the Yankees will. No, fuck that.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Nobody's paying you more than us. You're coming here and you're pitching behind Garrett Cole, and that's it. That's fine.
It can't happen. Like, there's no excuse.
What number do you want to wear? What number are you wearing? That's the question. I'm not even walking into the table and saying how many years, how much money. Robbie,
what number are you getting?
What number are you wearing?
Right.
What number are you wearing?
I haven't made a decision. Yeah,
what number are you wearing, and what is your ring size?
Right.
Those are my two questions.
Right.
Yankees better not
ring
even go
size.
near the Mets.
Right. Like what?
Please,
what
God,
are you wearing?
God, no. If the Mets, if Uncle Stevie,
man,
finds his
billions,
his way into those conversations, and Hal Steinbrenner loses to that weird man in Queens,
you can't do that.
No.
You can't let that happen.
No.
You can't let that happen. But for the fans, real quickly, since we've been talking about Oswald Peraza, I just want to throw these numbers at you real quick. I'll give you overalls, and then everybody, obviously I want to hear what he did in AA most of the year, which is where he got most of his at-bats. Overall, across the board, 424 at-bats, 126 hits. He's hitting 297, on-base percentage 360, 17 home runs, 56 RBIs, 35 stolen bases. OPS is 848. I think I missed one. What did I miss here? On base slugging is 473. That's just in AA alone. His slugging overall on the year is 488. Before AAA, for the fans who want to know, for AA, he's hitting only 294, 40 RBIs, 12 home runs, 313 at bats. So he's had a lot of time here, and also 19 stolen bags. What else would you want from this guy? 313 at bats in AA. I understand it's nice to, we talked to Eli Fishman, who knows his Yankee prospects. Everybody I speak to, I've asked many questions about Oswald Peraza. They tell me right now his bat can play at the major league level now. No doubt about it. No doubt 100%. About it. And they always say he's a smooth fielder too. So we have to get younger again. It sounds crazy.
And athletic. People are gonna say, "What are you talking about? The Yankees aren't that old. This is not 2000 and whatever." Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. We need to get a little bit younger again, Definitely. Right? That burst of energy that we had 2016 to 17, right? If the Astros weren't cheating, that burst of energy wins us a chip in 17.
And Joe Girardi has 2 World Series titles. Nobody ever thinks about that for him either. For his career as a manager, nobody talks about that
because his whole shit got derailed by a team that was cheating.
Yep.
Like he's in Philly right now because of the team that he was playing was cheating.
Well, according to Cashman, they would have got rid of him anyway, even if they won the World Series.
Yeah, bullshit. There's no
Cashman, you couldn't have.
There's no way you can't get rid of him after winning that year.
I just love calling Cashman's bullshit out because that's bullshit.
Listen, even Hal was asked. I remember on the K show, he said it would have been hard to get rid of Girardi, even if he made the World Series.
Right.
It would have been hard to get rid of him.
And if they had Girardi in 19, they win too. Can't tell me.
If they have Girardi right now this year, they have about 5 or 6 more wins.
Shit, I go 10, 12, maybe.
You might. I'm being nice to Booney right now.
I mean, come on, Girardi would have had Glaber benched like I don't know how many weeks into the season,
and Gary would have been gone already.
Gary
he
probably
would have been.
Gary would have got traded.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been here.
Early on. Gardner probably never gets re-signed because Girardi tells them, "What am I going to do with him? Like, is he going to be a bat boy or something? I don't know." But like, there's so many things that don't happen because Girardi just doesn't play that shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and because of that, it results in victories. Now, does that mean that we still don't blow the games that we've blown bullpen wise? We probably still blow as many games because of the bullpen, because his bullpen management was just as shitty as Boone's. Right.
He doesn't, but he doesn't go to Heaney. He's not bringing Heaney in games.
No, he's not bringing.
Not that bad. Nobody's worse than Boone.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No.
There's never been a manager worse than Boone. I'm telling you right now.
It's true.
And he's not getting bullied by an umpire.
That's the thing. That's the thing that Girardi would have
throwing up gang signs.
Yeah, no, come on. Girardi, he would have listened to them the first time they said, "Hey, bring Heaney in" or whatever like that. But after he starts games and gets rocked, and then comes out of the bullpen and gets rocked. You're gonna have to really sit down and explain to Joe Girardi why you still want to have him bring this pitcher in, and that's why they got rid of him, because they were tired of explaining things to him, and they just wanted to have somebody there who was just gonna blindly follow whatever the fuck they said. Enter Aaron Boone, but that's not the conversation I want to have. It's very simple. Peraza is ready now. If I'm the Yankees, I call him up and I put him at third base and I trade Gio. And the reason I put him at third base is because we know that Volpe is the shortstop of the future. So why not move him now?
Francis, I've been saying for a while now, I was hoping that he would get some starts over at third base for the remainder of the year. I was hoping, because that to me makes a lot of sense, because I actually asked somebody recently who would be better off playing third base between those two. And two of the people I speak to that watch these guys daily, advanced scouting, both said Peraza. They said no doubt about it, Peraza will be a better third baseman. But they could also see Volpe at second base. But second or short is his mainstay. But they said the left side of the infield is better for Peraza because he has a really good arm also. But the good thing is that they said he's very, very smooth and his reaction is very quick. And they think that'll actually work very good at third base. So I was hoping we'd actually see that. I don't know how comfortable the Yankees would be with starting him at third base without seeing anything in the minors. But usually
that's why they should be trying it now.
Agreed. But usually too, right? There was never a concern about Alex Rodriguez playing third. I'm not saying that Peraza's A-Rod. Usually you can tell, right? Usually you can see a guy.
Third baseman,
right. You could see them and go, this guy can handle third. Come on. Like, the hands are there. We know that. The range is there and the arm is there. He can handle third base.
This is the same team that moves Gio from third to shortstop
with hamstring injuries.
Like it's nothing. Like it's absolutely nothing. So that's why I'm saying, like, we should be able to call Peraza up and put him at third. And you don't have an issue moving Gio to shortstop like it's changing your socks.
Right.
So, like, why not do something that actually makes a little bit of sense and actually makes a play for the future, and saying, look, in the future, our left side of the infield is hopefully going to be Oswald Peraza and Anthony Volpe. Volpe's going to be at short. Peraza's going to be at third. DJ's going to be men in second. Their first couple of years, he's going to be the elder statesman there, bringing them in, holding them accountable. And if we sign Rizzo, it's the perfect fucking storm. Because you got the veterans on the right and the rookies on the left.
Yep.
And they're the ones who are ushering them in. Like, yo, this is how you carry yourself. This is how you do it. Like, you want to win. You want to be a winner. This is what it looks like. This is the way you behave. This is the way you make plays. This is what you do. You show up every day. Like, it would be the perfect group of guys to do it. The only thing missing there is a catcher who doesn't have two pass balls in the ninth inning.
I was about to say, don't have Gary near him, please. So you get
a halfway decent catcher and you're set.
You're set. Infield is set. Joe, I want to get your opinion on all that.
Yeah, I mean, we have two top tier shortstops sitting in the minors, and I think now would be the time to put Peraza at third. And we had no problem putting A-Rod at third. That's the exact thing I think of. Jeter, and obviously they're not no Jeter or A-Rod combo, but they could be close to it. And I think having Anthony Rizzo re-signing with us and DJ LeMahieu, two Gold Glove right side of the infield type guys, to teach those guys and to be there to guide them, I think that's better than having Gio and Glaber at short.
Yeah. I'm right there with
by
you.
far.
We saw the Yankees throw Oswald Peraza on the little taxi squad too, and he didn't get in the game obviously or anything like that. But I mean, again, it's not a dramatic move as people think it could be. People probably hear it, and maybe some people hear this and go, it's a bit dramatic, right? He's only in Double-A. But again, what we all know about Double-A is he's facing a real legitimate talent down there, and the guy's putting up stupid good numbers. He's going to hit, arguably, he might get close to 20 homers on the year and almost 40 stolen bases. Bat almost 300. I mean, there's not much more you can ask for there. So the last thing we got to talk about today to wrap the show up is this remaining schedule. So Francis, if you don't mind, can you start us off with that? And guys, I want us to talk about how we finished the year. Give us the games. Give us the amount of games left. And I think we all know the competition at this point of who we're facing. I could tell you right now, probably. I think it's Cleveland, the Rangers, the Red Sox first, the Blue Jays,
Boston,
and then the Rays.
Cleveland, Rangers, Red Sox, Blue Jays,
Rays. And how many games is that?
So it's three against Cleveland, 3 against Texas, 3 against Boston, 3 against Toronto, and 3 against the Rays.
15.
So 15 games left.
What's the record they get
today? Sheesh. I'm gonna go through. Damn it.
10-5. I mean, would be okay with me.
I was just thinking 10-5, Joe.
That would be good. That would be good enough for sure. But
10-5 gives them 92 wins.
I mean, I don't see them getting any more than 92.
I look at this team and I'm just like, look, against the Indians and the Rangers,
they're gonna lose one of those games.
They're gonna lose one of these 6 games.
Yep.
It's a shame because they should win all 6.
Yep.
But they're gonna lose one of these 6 games. So say they could lose 2 of these 6 games. Honestly speaking, look at the way
one against both of them.
Look at the way they played against these guys. So it's like if they go 2-1, 2-1, that's 4-2 so far. I'm gonna say optimistically that they take the series in Boston. That's 6-3.
Yeah, that's why I'm going 10-5.
Blue Jays, I'm gonna say they go 1-2 against the Jays, which puts them at 7-5. And then I'll say they go 2-1 against Tampa, which puts them at 9-6.
Yeah,
that's realistic. If they like DJ said, they're the streakiest team in baseball. If they get hot, they can fucking go 12-3. If they get hot, but I think realistically 9-6.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here. They're gonna go 8-7.
Yeah, I see them playing. I wouldn't be surprised to see them play 500, just barely above.
8-7 is my prediction. Look, you think these games are gonna end the way they're playing against the Orioles? You think that's just gonna just fade away? It's not. It's not. And then we're banking on a lot of things. This team all year has just banked on hope. They've banked on hope. They got a manager who rubs off on them the worst way possible. The manager rubs off on a team, and this team is so lackadaisical like the manager. This is what it is. They're so lackadaisical like the manager. I say they go 8-7. I don't see the Yankees beating the Rays. I don't see them beating the Blue Jays 2 or 3. I don't think that happens at all. I don't think they beat the Red Sox 2 of 3. I'm not joking. I don't think they beat the Red Sox 2 of 3. I definitely don't think they beat the Blue Jays 2 of 3. And are we confident they ever sweep the Rays? No. I'm not. This team has been a team all year where they've hyped us up. They go on a run, you get excited. And then it's like you get brought back down to reality of what they've been even last year.
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
Shouldn't say that. It's been 2 years of that.
It's been 2 years already. It's been 2 years of the same thing. And we got a little mirage this year. And we all, we're fans. We're going to buy into it. We're going to be happy. We're going to be happy. I say 8-7. And I say the Yankees miss the playoffs.
Yeah, 8-7. You're not going to the playoffs.
I'll keep it at that. 8-7, and they miss the playoffs. Hopefully, I'm wrong. And you guys know, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first person saying I'm wrong, and I'll be happy to say, "Great, I'm happy I was wrong."
Of course.
I also said they'll never win under Aaron Boone. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first one raising my hand saying, "Great, I'm happy as shit. But knock me all you want. I'm happy they won." They'll never win under Aaron Boone. They're not going to go to the playoffs this year. Caesar.
Well, honestly, I wish I could give you a prediction of this team, but I just can't. You know, they could go and win the next 6 games. They could sweep Cleveland and Texas, and they'll just crap the bed the rest of the way. Which is what they got: Toronto, they got Blue Jays, Red Sox, and at home against the Rays. So honestly, no, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Joe,
What this team has been this year, what this team has been good as being is their only consistency has been being inconsistent.
being inconsistent, right?
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think?
I mean, it's kind of 15 games. You're getting what, 3? So this is how I'm looking at it. You got 15 games. You're gonna get 9 of those games. You're gonna get Nestor, Cole, Monty. You would think you'd win 2 out of 1 with Monty, 2 out of 1 with Cortez, and then all 3 with Cole. So what's that? 2,
7.
4, that's 7 so far, and then yeah, I mean, 8-7 wouldn't surprise me if they go 8-7. I don't see how they get the all the other wins.
Yeah. That's where I am about it. If anybody else has anything to add, I mean, guys, I don't and it's I can see people saying, you're not optimistic. I mean, how could I be? I mean, that's my thing. I mean, as a fan, yeah, I'm a fan, but I'm realistic. I got to be realistic about it. We just talked about the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are a dangerous-ass team. Somebody said the other day they don't have pitching. Are you nuts? Like, what are you talking about? Would I be shocked? Would anybody here be shocked if the Blue Jays win the wild card game and then represent the American League in the World Series?
Nah, not at all.
No.
No, right? No. Francis, I think you're muted, by the way. I thought maybe you were talking to your wife or something, so I was like, oh, maybe he's just muted to talk to her, but you're still muted, bro. I still can't hear you. But as he gets that going, I mean, that wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me one bit at all. That wouldn't shock me at all. I think they got every chance in the world to potentially go that far.
Yeah. How I see it is if they win the wild card, they're beating the Rays in the division series, no doubt. And I think they match up better than the Astros because I think the Astros are going to go to the ALCS again.
Yeah, I think so. Francis, you good? Oh, no, he's still muted. That was Manfred. Manfred, just go ahead and just shut him down. That's it. All right, he's still.
I was looking at Peraza.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I switched to the laptop microphone. I didn't even know I was muted all that time.
Yeah, you were muted for a little bit.
Dude, I had no idea. I did mute for a second to say something to my wife, but then I unmuted and I thought like I was saying something. I forgot what I was saying now, but yeah. No, the only thing I want to say, I'll stick with 9-6 for down the stretch. I think, like Joe put it, like the starts at the Cole starts, the Nestor starts, the Monty starts. Those should be winnable games, obviously, but they can still lose them. Like they lost Monty's start today, but I think they'll get those, and I feel like they could find 2 more somewhere in there.
Right.
But 9-6, like, is that going to do it?
That's 9-6 would be 91 wins.
Because when you think, yeah, but it sounds good, but Toronto has a pretty simple schedule down the stretch, and Boston has a really simple schedule down the stretch. Yep. They have 6 against the Orioles and 3 against the Nationals to finish the season.
Yep, so, facts.
Like, they're probably going to get fat on that stretch, and like I think the only thing that could like push them off is if we were to go in and like sweep them. Like, our destiny is in our hands, is what I'm saying. Like, our destiny is in our hands. If the Yankees got hot at the right time and end up sweeping Boston and miraculously sweeping Toronto, then you hold your destiny in your hands. At that point, you're going.
Right.
Because you literally took care of business. But I think what we're all saying here is that we know that they're not going to do that. They're probably going to lose one of those 2 series. If I had to choose, I would probably say they're going to lose one of those 2 series. But like DJ LeMahieu said, they're the streakiest team in baseball. Maybe they get hot right now. Like, who knows? I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if they missed the whole thing altogether either. So
yeah. So I mean, we'll leave it at that. Hey, guys, in the comments section really quickly, I just want to apologize to the people who did super chats. I didn't know they actually go away. So I didn't read your super chats for the people who said, I think there was 3 or 4 of them. I didn't get a chance to read them. They went away. One was about a shortstop next year, but I know we talked about that basically, so we covered that one at least. But there was a couple of other ones. Yeah, Tyler sent some out about a shortstop.
Yeah.
There was a few other ones that I missed. I'm not sure what it was. Tyler, I don't know if you didn't know, but if anybody's still in here and you had it, just say it was you and throw your question real quick. But I missed the other ones. I also think Caesar got kicked out for whatever reason. I didn't kick him out, I promise. I like Caesar. But
yo, Manfred is doing it to us right now.
He's shutting us down. Somebody's looking to shut us down. I mean, I don't know what it is, but they're out there looking to shut us down. But other than that, guys, we here at NY News are going to have some announcements coming soon. They're not ready to be announced yet, but we got a lot of really big things coming your guys' way. The roundtables are not going nowhere, I promise you that. But I also promise one other thing. 2022 is going to be an insane year here at NY News. I mean, a tremendous year over here. We got some really cool things coming your guys' way. Caesar, I wish you were still in here, but if you are watching, I don't know what happened. But I just wanted to thank you for joining. Absolutely terrific stuff from you, and thank you for making the time and being available and being in here. What I have to add to finish off with, Anthony, if you sent one, I see you said you sent one, please throw your question back in there. You don't got to be a super chat. Just throw it back in there and we'll answer it now. I don't have much else to add besides what Francis said. I mean, the team's destiny is in their hands at the end of the day. I mean, they got to play baseball. They got to play their best baseball. And let's be real about it. I mean, look at them. They're not playing good baseball. They're still making the mental errors, and that's why I say they go 8-7. I'm not gonna fall in the trap of trying to be overly confident again. I'm not. So those are my final words. Until Anthony will throw out that question and we'll answer you. But go ahead, Francis.
Hold on, Li Yankee King is in here.
Yes, he is.
I did not. I just started seeing his name in the chat. I just wanted to say what's up. I haven't heard from you in a while, man.
Joe killed him. Joe ruined his Twitter career. Joe, do you got anything to say? Should I bring him in here? Do I need to bring him in here face to face?
I think people thought the Killer Joe thing was like just a joke until
it's not. He'll wipe you out.
Until he actually caught a body.
He'll wipe you out.
Now you know that we're not joking.
That's it. And my lovely fiance just threw out one of the questions in the thing by Tyler. But honey, if you were listening, which you should have been, you would have knew that we answered that already, baby. So do me a favor and get the Mama Juana ready, and I'll be upstairs soon.
Shit.
Tyler said he also forgot his first question. So Tyler, I know that was you. But Anthony, I know you're in there. Send that question to us. But Joe, do you have any closing statements to make?
It's the same thing you said. I mean, I can't really give my confidence to this ball club just for them to bring it back down. We're just gonna have to ride this 15-game streak right here. See what happens. It sucks that this 15-game streak is gonna either make or break the season, which we shouldn't be talking about as a Yankee organization. But I mean, here we are.
Yo, Li Yankee King was like, "Yo, let me in. Let me in. Let me in right now."
He's dying.
He's begging. He's begging. He wants to get in. Li, look, man, you're not on Twitter no more, so I can't send you the link. So I'm not letting you in, unfortunately. And I don't need Joe to hurt you more. I don't need it to be live on camera. We don't need that. Francis, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get the closing words on this one for the Yankees.
Listen, guys, thank you guys for joining the live chat. We appreciate everybody who joins. Continue to share this joint out. You know what we always say, like, subscribe, all that jazz. We got a lot of good shit coming for you. And about our team, man, listen, we're Yankee fans, right? Today, tomorrow, always, right? That doesn't mean that we have to be fans of the people who are pulling the strings right now. So if you're frustrated, put it out there, vent your frustration. Don't let anybody tell you you're being a bratty ass Yankee fan. Like, screw all that. Put your frustration out there because you're right to be frustrated. This team was supposed to be a World Series contender. This team was picked by all the analysts at the beginning of the season to be representing the American League in the World Series. And now on September 16th, we're not even sure that there'll be a wild card team.
That's right.
Like, look at how far of a fall that is. It's not that, we went from World Series to just ALCS or ALDS. We don't even know. It's September 16th, and we don't even know if this is a wild card team. So that's my closing statement. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't sound like we're optimistic, unfortunately, man, we just been watching too much of this team this season.
That's right. All right, guys. As you know, thank you guys for everything. Continue, like Francis said, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Again, many great things coming. So, continue to follow us for some really, really big and really wonderful updates coming to the page. And we'll get that out to everybody soon. So, for myself, for Francis, for Joe, for Caesar, who was in here and did a tremendous job today, just want to say thank you guys, and we'll talk to you guys next time on Nights at the Roundtable. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.